This is Hidden Heavens, Campaign 6, Session 11, with the recap playing now.
The author continues to dip quill into ink, telling the tale of wonder and majesty that shall be taught and read among the minds of young fractures. He uses words, of course, words to tell a story, never to control. It was, in essence, forbidden. He was supposed to record, to recount. He was, in a way, an arbiter of a long contract given to him by the caretaker. He himself was not one. Technically speaking, that is. But given how infrequent instructions were for the problems he faced, he reckoned that he might as well be. A group of heroes, among them a flaming spark, set forth to rescue from waters dark. Something lurked there, older than them, yet younger than the earth. A blood of darkness, a drop from the great eye, a drip, merely a drip from the disasters that lurked beyond the sea. Such was its name that it was mentioned or uttered, not even here, for it had but to wake up, for all the coastal villages to know fear. It slumbers now at the bottom of a circle of waves. The exhales from his breath ripple throughout the days. He is still alive, wounded from long ago, one of the elder spirits, neither friend nor foe. And so the author wondered, and so the author crept, riding gently around that which slept. One of water, one of fire, one of earth, and one of sky. They guard the three chains and cannot tell a lie. Two were awake, one quite angry, and another now evil as can be, tainted by the touch, like the spires of heaven, to do what must be done. No price is too much. The chains of earth, of magic, and of soul. He has written of them before, but he hesitates to write such dangerous lore. After all, he reasons, they are what binds the door. A figure, a statue, a pool, a well. It is all that and more, for it has caused a civilization to fall. Others rise, while some sink below, kept within a cavern like the stolen stars in tow. And so the author continues, describing our hero's journey, the narrow escape from the tentacles and charms aplenty. To be slaves, to breathe water, that was a possibility, but not one he could allow, and so he did plenty. He broke the rules and changed the scenery. After all, the water is now dark, for that is what he had written, and so it was how it was now meant to be. He had grown tired and weary, these bones aching dearly, for they always told him, they always whisper and say, that it was never going to end any other way.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Uh-oh.
All right, opening question. Can I mark a long rest after all that?
Yes, if your character went to rest.
Okay.
So, anything happened to my character that I would need to know about other than getting bonked?
Oh yeah, you're gonna want to
Uh,
roll some stats.
Yeah, look, I'm
Huh?
just saying, you only need 8 fingers, really.
Huh?
Yeah, everyone had to give up a couple of fingers. Sorry, bud.
How often
Oh.
do you use your pinky specifically?
Not.
Are you
Sup-
emotionally attached to your index finger?
I feel like everyone is subconsciously.
I'm fucking with you, of course. You have all your fingers.
It's like, wait a minute. That's
Oh
insane.
no.
Yeah. Well, you only lost like 3 proficiencies.
Ooh, I have 3. Actually 5. Sorry.
You're like, I'm a commoner again.
My highest proficiency is index, which is acrobatics. The rest are not in charisma
you gain a
skills.
proficiency in intimidation, because everyone is intimidated by a guy that has less than 10 fingers.
That's real.
Hmm.
No. I think if you lose an eye, everyone's intimidated by you. 10, like less than that, they're just, they probably just feel sorry for you. At least me. I'm never intimidated by someone with less fingers. Now, more fingers, I'm definitely concerned. I'm also reporting them for being a killer. Because everyone knows if you have 6 fingers on your right hand, or is it your left hand? I fucked up the reference. I think I did. Yeah. Anyway, So we're in the we're in a place between places. Um,
Oh,
if you haven't had a chance to read the text RP, the three young ladies are all dead. Well, and or one is missing.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So
There's only one person to blame.
Don't you dare.
Zero has a new tattoo. Yay.
Fun.
And it's in the shape of a skull made out of an unusual language that always looks at her, no matter how she does it, it's always staring at her.
And as a primer and a refresher, where is the tattoo?
It is on her right inner wrist.
Okay. Gotcha.
Also, Soul Forger is a little chunky now.
Also not my fault.
It's your dog.
I think he's his own dog.
We'll report you. We'll call you in.
Wow.
Does this
All right,
world
okay.
have a PETA equivalent?
They rescue like Soul Forger away, and he's like, "But I was comfy there."
Oh, you weren't. They were gaslighting you.
But I had sausages.
They were poison. Anyways,
All right, so we are in the place between places. What do you guys do?
Is it still like the night, or is it like the following morning?
Early morning.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say, having probably been like the first night like out of the tower after a couple of days, I think Braden's probably gonna take it upon himself to sleep in a little bit. So if anyone wants to do anything kind of early morning, feel free. Otherwise, I think Braden's probably gonna get up at like maybe like 8:39, kind of rough. It's like a
Can
point of
we-
reference for time.
can we get the aftermath of Donson going to help Sebastian out with the dead bodies?
Sebastian would have taken care of it.
So, well, then can we get the aftermath of him arriving? Because we ended the RP with him leaving to.
Yeah, so
help
he
in
so
some
he
fashion.
comes in and he washes his hands in a sink below the bar and just washing off the blood off his hands. And he's gonna look over at Braden, who like kind of stumbles in, and he's gonna be like, would you like a breakfast sandwich?"
I think Braden's kind of like rolling his left shoulder, kind of just like stretching and probably like rubbing at his shoulder. He kind of peers over towards him and he says, "What's a breakfast sandwich?"
He informs you it's a sandwich made out of sausage.
Like sausage on the outside?
All parts of it are sausage.
huh.
And he's got a single egg in the center.
Sounds pretty heavy, but you know, why not treat yourself, right? He kind of flashes him a smirk and approaches towards the counter and kind of like slowly kind of sits himself down. And this is probably the first time, really, in probably a fair while, that Braden hasn't kind of like left the room in armor. So he's kind of like left the chain that he normally wears, like the chainmail, in the room, and he's kind of just adopted like very simple kind of like long sleeve black top with the sleeves kind of like rolled up roughly to his elbow, and he has probably top button or two undone, and he looks kind of groggy, a little bit kind of lazy. He looks like fairly comfortable. Kind of just parks himself down and kind of leans on the chair, and he kind of looks left, looks right, and he says, "Have you seen any of the others this morning?"
He shakes
But I'd
his
be the
head.
last to get
You're
up.
the first. And then he points us to the corner where a very large, fluffy black dog is being held hostage by having a child lay on it.
Braden thinks back to the last time he was at this place, and basically exactly the same thing happened to him. So he gives the dog a look of understanding and just kind of kind of gives a nod to the dog, making a little note to be sure to give him some of the sausage. And
The dog's eyes say, "Help me."
it is Belinda on the dog, right?
Yep.
I think Braden's going to kind of, I've been here for like half a day and you haven't said hello.
Who are you talking to?
Belinda.
She's going to do like a very long yawn and stretch, and then kind of like stop. And by the way, just so you know, she tried to come over and say hi. If you don't remember that from the last RP.
Yeah, I know. It was as we were walking out and leaving, and I was kind of following. So from memory, it was when we just entered the room. Braden left because he had a little thing from the gnome.
You were in the bird room.
I picked
Yes,
her
okay,
up.
yes, okay, no, yeah. Sorry, we were in the bird room. She came over. Yeah, okay, no, I'm caught up. Braden still says it. Just he's gonna kind of play it off like he didn't see her. He very clearly did, but yeah.
She pouts a little bit, and then she rushes over to give you a hug.
And Braden kind of opens an arm and gives a hug back, and just kind of like puts his right hand on top of her head and just kind of pats. He says, "You been up to much? What's the latest around these parts? Anything exciting?"
She kind of starts scratching her eyes, and she says, "You smell like candy canes."
Yeah, it's been an odd couple of days to say the least. I've never seen a lot of snow before, but I guess I have now.
She looks pale.
And candy canes, yeah, there were a few of those.
She suddenly looks very pale.
Braden kind of tilts his head to the side. Are you feeling okay, Belinda?
She nods. Yeah, just I'm fine.
This is a safe place, right? Not just for you to be here, but for you to talk as well.
She shakes her head.
You don't think it's a safe place?
She kind of looks to the side and says, "Bad things happen when I talk."
Well, I think bad things have been happening since I kind of woke up here. So I don't really have anything left to lose. What's going on?
She does not talk.
I think Braden just kind of nods, says, kind of taking the subject and steering it away for her comfort, or just kind of say, "You ever heard of a breakfast sandwich?"
And she looks at Sebastian and kind of like crosses her arms. And she says, "That's not a breakfast sandwich."
What do you think a breakfast sandwich is?
She's like, "Obviously, it includes hash brown."
I mean, we're not savages, right?
She nods.
Good. And yeah, I think Braden will just kind of, yeah, just kind of idle in some kind of chit chat. Nothing too specific. Just trying to keep the conversation light. And yeah.
She's going to present you with a rough sketching of like chalk and pencil, and it's gonna show what looks to be like your gauntleted hand, and inside there appears to be a bird flying in it, like a tiny eagle.
I think Braden's gonna kind of like look at the drawing and kind of raise his eyebrow. You did this?
She nods.
What is? I mean, I'm pretty tall. My hand. He's gonna kind of hold his hand out. It's not quite that big, you know.
Or perception.
Um, rolling. D&D Beyond, just refreshing it. All right, perception of 18.
You can almost see a tiny golden spark floating in your hand.
Braden's gonna like hold his hand up to the roof and kind of just like turn it around a little bit. Just like inspecting it a bit closer, and I imagine probably like almost seeing it. Probably doesn't get a good like visualization of it. He kind of like tilts his head a little bit. Out of curiosity, is there any like gold on the drawing, or like yellow or anything like
Yeah,
that?
it's like an eagle. It's like a golden eagle.
I think
And this
Braden's
golden
gonna.
spark seems to be very slowly orbiting your hand when you look at it from a certain angle.
I think Braden's gonna say, Belinda, what is this?
She shrugs. I don't know. I just see things.
Have you seen something like this before?
She goes silent for a moment and then nods slowly.
Who did you see it on before?
She starts to get really quiet and then just takes like a spoon and kind of just moves around the food on her plate, doesn't really say anything.
Belinda, these things that you see are maybe very important. And you know that I'm here to help you, right? And if I'm going to help you, I need to understand. We need to understand. We know that this is another roll of the dice or attempt at whatever the hell we're supposed to achieve while we're here. Have you seen it on other versions of us?
She's going to look up at you and she's gonna ask, "Are you sure you want to know?"
I'm sure I don't not want to know.
She's going to
Yes.
nod and she's going to say, "What do you know about words?" And
Probably. Sorry.
as she says that, we'll continue to everyone else who's getting
Mhm.
their character set up and what they're doing. This is all happening like while they're more or less coming into the area or doing whatever they're doing.
For Noah, he having been sleeping outside Braden's door, he would have woken up at around the normal time. And since Braden had slept in, he probably would have walked down the hall and
You
just
you definitely would have
yeah.
been forcibly woken up earlier by a dog licking your face.
Okay. Even still, I'd pet the dog, play with him a little bit, and then notice that once the time when we would normally wake up comes around, notice Braden is sleeping in, go down the hall and look at my room again. Just kind of open the door and take it in for a little bit. Go inside, just walk around, inspect the things that are supposed to be dear to me, comfortable to me. And as I hear Braden waking up and walking down the hall, I will have followed him. So I would actually probably be in the doorframe this entire conversation he's having of wherever he's at, or hallway, just kind of watching on from a distance.
Okay, Leonie, what is your character doing?
Um, waking up. Still kind of. I get what I'm getting right. What happened the day before, right? I was infected by it, is what I read. Um,
You were
the,
under a charm effect, and you got bonked to get out of the charm.
okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna wake up and not do anything super special. Um, probably wonder and feel lonely about my sister again and whine and complain about to myself in my head. About things I didn't do or could have done. And then I'm going to just go to where everyone else is, which is, I guess, at the not dinner table, but just like I can't even think of what
It's
it's
a
called.
bar.
Bar, yeah. Um, go up to where the bar is. just kind of soon after I wake up, probably like 20 minutes.
Yeah, just so you have a background, PLR, what happened last session, is more or less you guys realized you're under a charm effect the entire time. It was keeping you, every time you got a certain distance away, it would take
Mm.
over and like force you to come back into the village. And then as you guys broke out of the charm, you guys had noticed that a procession was taking 3 young women to go into the water. Um, you guys fought off some of the villagers, and then a bunch of them ran and dived into the water while the innkeeper had you guys run in, and then she gave you guys golden chalk. You drew it on the door, and then everyone escaped into this place.
Mm.
One other point that I will bring up, just because it might add a bit of clarity as to why Noah was sleeping out the front of Maiden's door. To get out of the tower, Fizzlebang had a bit of a deal with Brayden, which basically he allowed Fizzlebang to cast a spell on him. He cast a charm, and he was basically told to attack to kill the cat for whatever reason. And when we got back, Brayden attacked the cat. It didn't go down so well.
Oh.
So I think that's why Noah was sleeping at the door, kind of keeping watch. I'm not really sure the extent of how long it's going to last for.
Oh.
Just as some clarity. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah. I'm just gonna go to where Belinda and Brayden are just talking. I'm not gonna really interrupt their conversation at all. Just sit next to or kind of close to them.
Okay. So Noah, I assume you, if I remember correctly, you said you just came into the area as well.
Yeah, I'd probably be still kind of in the hallway watching the conversation, seeing them go on. I'm kind of observing Brayden a little bit to see how he's acting because I don't know the extent of whatever he got put under. So just a little cautious and want to keep an eye on him,
A
look out
very
for him.
wet ball touches your foot.
Oh, I look around. Do I see a dog anywhere?
Yes.
Oh, hey, bud, you want to play? I'll pick up the ball, kind of
How many
wag it in
dogs
front
are
of
there?
him. Oh, there's a lot of you. Uh, well, which one of you wants it?
They all say me at the same time.
All right, gonna have to fight for it. I'm just gonna gently toss it across the room into an area where hopefully nothing will break if a dog crashes into it.
And so as Belinda says, what do you know about words? 3 dogs come charging past you guys. Zero, what are you doing?
Sleeping off 8 drinks.
Jesus Christ.
It was a bad night, all right? It was a bad night.
Respect.
By the way,
Um,
in this place, you only have a hangover if you want one.
I think she does,
Because
actually.
the reason I said that and I
Rude.
clarified that is because I know Zero's character. I think she would rather have a hangover.
Yeah, I think so. She's gonna sleep until at least 10, unfortunately.
Okay. It's like 8 or 9 a.m., so
Yeah, give it a little bit.
um
How long did Braden sleep until? I know he slept in too.
I think I said around like 8 or 9 thereabouts,
Oh,
for
okay.
like a,
Gotcha.
the
gotcha.
point of
Okay.
reference.
That was my thought process about what time it is.
Mhm.
By the
Perfect.
way, Zero, the dog has his head on you, and he's like just passively chewing the squeaky bone.
That's cute. It wouldn't wake her up, I don't think.
A little bit of saliva touches the top of your ear.
Still probably wouldn't wake her.
All right, all right.
I have an important question. Are you a
Yeah.
honk chew or a me me me?
Your snores.
I want to say neither because I think she just sleeps like she's dead, especially
Okay.
after this.
Good to know. Good to know.
I'll think on it.
All right. So, as the dogs come crashing by, Belinda says, What do you know about words? Oh, speaking of, I didn't ask about Donson, my bad.
I
Thought
was
I
about to
definitely read
say,
it.
yep.
Donson, what is your character doing?
Well, you skipped my entire portion because I said what I was doing, and then
Mhm.
you were like, "So Braden at the bar, he's washing his hands full of blood."
Oh, I am so sorry. I thought that was a general statement.
No,
I didn't
I
think that was tied to
wanted
what your character was doing. I'm so sorry.
no that because I imagine that was all happening like during everyone waking up or
Okay,
something akin to that.
got you.
That's how I imagined it went.
Okay.
That's why I was like, yeah, that's what he's doing in the beginning. Is I want to take a chance to go through all of that.
So you see the room as it was described. Um, you saw Sebastian pull out a small black stone and touch it to each body, and then it almost gets sucked in like a tiny black hole. And he did the same to the blood. Some got on his hands, and he comes out to wash them off.
On his way out, I'm going. Donson is gonna stop Sebastian before he leaves the room. Uh, what is it that you've just done with them?
He smiles, and I just cleaned up a little bit.
That where are they? I was intending on coming to help.
He looks at
Helping
you.
with the dead is something a part of my job.
Oh. So he like kind of like the sand is now on the table from the RP. He kind of draws like a little circle and then another little circle, and in between he points. That's where they are now.
We're not very fond of answering questions.
He shrugs. They're in the. If this is the place between places, they're in the void between places.
So you've just dumped them into nothingness.
More or less. Better fate than some geared, I say. Besides, it's not like their souls are there anyway.
I think before that, Donson would be like visibly angry because his whole thing is like through fire there is rebirth. So hearing that they're just in a void is kind of antithetical to his whole thing as a wildfire druid.
Mm-hmm.
But then he hears that they don't even have a soul, so he goes from looking very angry to confused. What do you mean they have no souls?
He looks down where the bodies were. It appears that they were stolen.
Stolen by whatever killed them
He
or
nods.
something else.
The bestowal that they receive is marked upon their soul. You can't transfer one without taking the other, I think. So the essence of who and what they are, it's somewhere.
You allow me a moment to look around the room.
Of course. Just be careful. If you see something staring at you the entire time, it's probably them.
Them?
He nods, and then walks out of the room.
But as he's walking out, Dodson is just gonna. But you just said that their souls are gone.
Not in their bodies.
What? He's just confused.
You're officially part of the crew.
I understand. Donson does not, with his intelligence of 10.
That's average
So,
intelligence. So
I mean, it's average, but like,
the
he
average
still
person isn't
doesn't
all that
understand it.
stupid. I guess.
Well, anyways,
It's a loaded question.
very
It is.
Can I guess Donson just take the rest of the time to like look through the room and see if he can find any clues on what's going on? Because he has an idea that this place makes these rooms the ideal comfort spot for the people that stay in them. So he wants to gather as much information on them as he can.
Oh, clever. Okay. You may roll an investigation, Mr. 10
Shit.
intelligence.
This is just going to be flat. That went off my table. That one. Good thing there isn't any fire in this room.
There is the candles.
No, that's too little. Plus, in this room, you've already stated that whatever it is that is with Donson that causes that isn't there anymore.
Yeah. Sort of.
Oh, what do you say that? Natural 1. So
You realize that when you had walked into the room, another thing you realized is that you felt no compunction to hide the flame from your vision.
Hmm.
And you feel no effects of it.
Alright. Well, I've done all I can. I guess he goes back to the group in the bar. After everyone has already gathered, so he'll be the last one.
Okay. All right. So, what do you say, Braden, when she asks you, what do you know about words?
I think Braden's gonna kind of like look towards her, tilt his head to one side. He says, "Well, I know they have meaning. I know I probably don't know as much as most of the other people in this place."
She kind of nods. I don't have any sand.
Do you need sand?
It helps. I'm very visual.
Can you draw it? Or would you need me to try and find you some sand?
She looks around and she's gonna lean in and try to whisper, I don't think you want me to draw it.
Okay.
It
Sure.
has
Let me
eyes.
see if I can find you some sand. I think Braden's gonna kind of slowly rise from the bar and kind of turn around. Probably like see the others like in the room now. He'll kind of just like give him a nod. He says, "Belinda needs some sand to draw something. Has anyone seen any around this place by any chance, or any of your private
Sebastian
rooms happen to be a
squints.
beach?"
Or you're asking Sebastian, correct?
Kind of like everyone in the room.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You're just gonna shake his head no.
Closest thing I have is these ball bearings. I don't think that's gonna work.
Ball bearings, the most situationally useful and useless thing in the universe.
Damn straight.
Yeah. Okay. Would dirt work, Belinda?
No, it has to be. I think it's best. I think it's best not to. But I can say this. She leans in close. I'm not the selfish one.
Braden's just very, very kind of confused. He's just gonna kind of nod and he says, I believe you." I think he'll probably turn to Sebastian behind the counter and he'll say, "What about you? And do you know have any sand behind any jars back there?
He stops. He squints. Sand.
Yeah, sand.
Belinda's currently focusing very much into her food, and he just casually shakes his head. I think it's best not.
Can you at least give us an answer why?
She knows she's not supposed to.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not supposed to be drinking alcohol in the morning, but I'm sure you've served your fair share of people in the past, right? That's what Belinda was saying. Words have meaning. I think actions have meaning as well. Look, we're just trying to get a break here. We're just been frantically chasing our tails for the past week and a half, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's important to us.
He grabs a stool from behind the bar and sits on it, and kind of just towers over you. And he starts to clean a glass and look through it, and he says, "Long story short, it's not the first time you've met me."
Yeah, I think we've kind of been able to cobble that together.
More
What happened?
importantly,
Hmm.
it's not the first time you've met me. It's not the first time you've been here, and it's not always been you. This face, I mean. Sometimes your name is different.
I guess that's news. I imagine Sebastian speaking loud enough for like everyone to hear this in the
Yep.
room. Yeah, okay. I think Braden's going to kind of look over his shoulder to the others and just kind of give a shrug. Says, "I guess that's something I didn't really know." Have all of us with our faces been here at the same time before?
Different variations. It's been a lot of them. It's hard to remember.
Hmm. Well, can you tell us what happened to the last group?
Well, they left. Never came back.
We've been here for a week and a half. Do you know how long they were here for?
Some last days, some hours, some months. Some, one, even lasted a year. But, whoever, and, well, the neighbor perhaps, but whoever decides to change things whenever they do, it's almost always when something irreversible happens. What that could be, it's not my decision. I don't really know. And he pulls out a thin layer of parchment. It's not sand, but here. And he takes out a pen and starts and draws like 5 stick figures. And then he draws a straight line above each. And then above those straight lines, he draws a curved line. And then he draws a hand. And he puts the pen on the lines. And he says, "In the end, these are what matters. Not these." And he puts the pen on the actual shape of the people.
I think Braden's going to look over his shoulder to the rest of the party. Anyone else getting this? He seems like very, very kind of confused seeing this. And,
So he pointed at the hand, saying, "This is what matters," and then not the people.
The threads.
The threads.
Yep.
Just gonna be as the enemy's looking as confused as you.
are the threads that he drew? So it's all like just from sand, correct? Or
No,
like so
it's
the
in ink.
the parchment. So it's all the same color though.
Yes.
I think Braden's gonna take out the parchment that Belinda gave him and put it beside the parchment and kind of spin it around so it's kind of facing him. And he'll gesture towards like the indications of gold that you mentioned, like this.
Hmm. Well, that is a, how do I describe it? So he goes and he around one of those stick figures he draws like a circle and envelops each part of the stick figure. And then he slightly, very gently, like with great lines but not filling, draws like jagged lines in between the stick figure and the envelopment. Kind of like an aura.
What does it mean?
Well, one thing that's for sure, whoever is chosen to manifest, as it were, they gain abilities, some sooner, some later. Don't know why. You ever done something strange, almost inhuman?
Uh, uh, we've had a couple of experiences with that. Sure. I mean, these obviously go, they connect somewhere. They go somewhere. What's on the other side of these things? Who's giving this to us?
That's beyond my pay grade. Well, all I can say is those things, he points to the aura, and he says, those abilities. Learning a single teeny tiny part of that to manifest. You might call it a miracle. Those are words.
Well, at least that's something that we've learned. Brayden kind of looks towards the others, just eyebrow kind of raised.
Kind of like storytelling or writing, right? You don't have the story, doesn't exist until the words are written. Is that kind of
He
what you mean?
smiles and says, something like that. Of course, our neighbor might know more, but I don't think you're able to visit him.
Neighbor?
Yeah, neighbor. Very reclusive.
Does that mean there's another place between places?
There are as many places as there are doors.
You can see Noah's like trying to mouth a few words, but a little bit of tension is taking over his body. What do you know about a door in the middle of the world?
He goes very quiet. And then he says, what do you know about it?
Not a whole lot, but
Keep
I
it
know
that
it.
way.
I think Brayden kind of like crosses his arms and kind of sinks into the chair a little bit. He says, "There's something that I can't wrap my head around. If I made a breakfast sandwich and I wanted to give it to someone, I wouldn't give it to a hungry person to go deliver it." And then Brayden kind of turns around and gestures towards Zarur and he says, "I wouldn't pick someone and then have their crewmate suffer in front of them." Turns towards Lianyu. "I wouldn't pick someone and then take their sister away." Gestures to himself. "I wouldn't take someone and then have them see or be captured by cultists from their past." Gestures towards Noah and towards Johnson. "We're gonna find some obstacle or hurdle for these two. I just don't understand. If we're here to do something, why are we given obstacles? Like, myself coming from another land, I can understand. I have no attachment here. I'm a soldier with a mission. I just go. But it's like there's something trying to derail us or misguide us, right? I can't be wrong saying that. Surely, Sebastian, the previous people with different faces, features, have they had issues similar to these as well? I mean,
He
we're clearly
nods.
soldiers. We're clearly soldiers for something or someone, right? I just want to get my fucking orders.
He slips the paper around and starts to draw other lines. Except this time it's about 24 plus lines. And at the end of the line, each one curves. And he draws this among all the people. And then he says, threads. They go both ways.
So
Um,
that hand on the other side of the paper that represents someone or something. And I guess when you first drew it, I assumed that meant it was in control of the five below, but what you're saying is the five people underneath it can influence those strings towards it.
He nods. Except in one place. And he draws a door. And then he takes 9 circles and draws along the top edge of the door. And he points. Except here. But here's the problem. If you go there, and you lose, that's it. It's over.
And that's the door, right?
He nods.
You can see Noah's like grasping himself pretty uncomfortably and stressed.
The thing is, why would you put more than one lock on a door? Is it to keep people out? No.
So at this point, I guess Dunson will pipe up and he'll say, "So what you're telling me is that there's a place that these people got to get to, and they're gonna keep trying until they manage to open up all of those locks, and then do whatever on the other side, and it's gonna keep happening until it happens,
Yeah,
like some kind of test."
but here's the problem. You open that door, and you lose, we all lose. Because you don't put 9 locks on a door to keep someone out. You do it to keep something in.
So the locks are a test. You can only open them if you're gonna be able to finish whatever it is on the other side.
He shrugs. Maybe. I don't know.
If that's the
Well,
case,
I just know
sorry,
seems
they're
to
no.
be all.
conceptual keys. They may not even look like keys.
If that's the case, does that mean no other iteration of us has even opened the door?
Well, if it has, it's not in our story.
Dunson just whistles. Sounds like you guys got your hands full.
I guess so.
Yeah, we certainly do, bud. He gives you a knowing look and a smirk.
Meanwhile, in Zero's room, a foul smell rises very heavily. Soulforger has farted.
Oh my god. I guess that's my cue to leave, isn't it? You want to kick me out of this room? Yeah, I think at that point she'd probably be kind of starting to wake up. And that would be enough to kind of
Meanwhile,
get her
there's
to
a
just
wagging
roll out
tail
of
making
bed on
sure
the
it's nice
floor
and
and
mobile.
like, no. Awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah, she'll kind of just stumble out of the room and like it's not a great time. And when she reaches the bar, I don't know, I think she doesn't look like dead, but she definitely doesn't look alive either. And she'll just kind of slowly come over to you guys and sit down and just like forehead straight down on the table.
Sebastian
Mm.
pours you hair of the dog.
Thank you.
Didn't sleep well.
You could say that.
Didn't drink any
Who
water.
has Echo?
I hear it as well.
I heard myself, so I assume it wasn't me.
It shouldn't be me. I got a headset on.
Same.
Okay, I'll be watching like a hawk. I think it might be Wool's setup, but I don't know for sure.
I'm not wearing my open backs.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear like people echoing, man.
Mm.
All right.
We'll see when it happens.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys do?
I think Brayden might catch up to Rua and kind of the conversation we just had. I think Brayden's just going to show her the two parchments. And she's sitting at the bar as well. Is everyone else standing at the moment?
I was sitting, at
Okay.
least.
Yeah.
Probably like chair down from you.
Okay. I think Brayden will just kind of slide the two parchments over to Zarura and just kind of, I guess, run through the keynotes of what we just kind of discussed, just so we're all on the same page. Just so you have some light thinking to help you out this morning.
Light thinking.
Belinda starts scratching your back, Sarwa, and your hangover disappears.
No.
And she shivers.
Put it back.
And she shivers slightly.
Put it back.
Oh, sorry. I can't.
Fine. Wait. Do you feel that now?
She nods. My head hurts.
Yeah, that's not something you should be feeling yet.
Roll me a perception.
What did you give to her?
14.
You can see the teeniest, tiniest white spark in her eyes.
Give to her. I mean, I think she took what? So what? What are you doing? Are you take other people's bad stuff?
She nods.
And that's I'm going to look close at her and kind of like maybe a little rougher than I should, like grab her face with both hands and like look up in her eyes.
You're like, are you
Say,
grabbing, like, are you like cupping her cheeks?
yeah, I'm like
Yeah, she's
face
like,
to face, like hold her face.
how can can I help you?
Just what? Listen, you look different, but you look different again already.
She squints. Okay.
Is that what you just did? Did that hurt you more than the headache?
She looks down. There's a cost. A teeny tiny one.
A teeny tiny one. What's the cost?
She looks around. All of this.
Kind of sit up straight and hands drop to her sides, and she's gonna look around as well. And all of this, you mean this place? This
Roll me
place
an
is a
insight.
cost.
Everyone else may roll an insight as well if they so desire.
That's good because I got a 5.
Paying attention to this right now, so.
Got a
Well,
11.
unfortunately, I
24.
also have a 5.
22.
All
Hey.
right, DC 20, 20
24.
plus. You realize that she sacrifices a tiny portion of her vision every time she heals somebody. I don't know if you guys heard me.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Can Donson walk over to the girl and put his hand like on her face and then cast Lesser Restoration? Basically, palm her head like a basketball, and then cast Lesser Restoration.
This poor girl today.
yeah! It's, whoa. Okay. Her vision doesn't really change, but her hangover goes away.
He's
Belinda.
gonna do like that doctor thing of follow my finger, and then just check her eyesight.
Maybe you shouldn't use that unless it's really important. Whatever you just did.
But she says, but I feel everyone's pain.
I think it'll hurt them to know that's happening to you, though, as well. A different kind of hurt.
She looks down and says, like burns?
Burns? Who's
Where?
Burns?
She smiles. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I help. It's what I do. I'm selfless.
Donson is just going to palm her head again and then shake it a little bit.
Ah! You're
Too
killing me
young.
here, Rule. I'm hearing myself through your microphone and I hate it.
There is literally no way you can.
Do you want to play? You want to? Hold on. Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. At fucking 58 minutes and 34 seconds, you're gonna listen to this and you're gonna hear what I fucking hear. I'm telling you, I can hear myself through your microphone.
There's literally no way.
I can hear it too.
I actually cannot hear it.
I don't hear it either.
It's not like frequent, but if it gets loud enough,
Yeah, if
there's
it gets
a little
loud
bit.
enough, it gets loud enough. It does. Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
using
Like when I go,
in-ear
"Ah!"
earbuds.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
It might just be when your mic is already queued up to speak as well.
No, I have in-ear earbuds. There is no way sound is getting from them to my mic.
But
I
it
don't
is
know.
though.
It is.
Yeah.
It does seem like it's only when you're like talking though that it happens. Like at the same time.
Yeah. Do you
Try
have
restarting my
noise
mic.
suppression on?
My mic doesn't pick up anything past negative 50 dB. It has a threshold. Let me try restarting some stuff. all the sound is going through it. Try it now.
Ah, there we go.
I guess
Perfect.
probably have to see if it happens again. but-
Yeah, I mean that was as loud as I get, really. So, unless I start screaming for no reason,
Well,
autistic screeching starts. All right, so back to the story. So you're just like you're like shaking Belinda's head. She's like, "What are you doing?"
oh man.
Starts giggling.
Johnson would say, too young to be worrying about. Worry more about yourself.
So she's going to kind of like pull her head out of it and then go back to eating her food.
Belinda,
Mhm.
what did you call yourself?
Selfless.
I think hearing that, I'm just gonna like turn back around and very enthusiastically have some of that ill-advised drink that Sebastian gave me.
Are you itching to replace your hangover?
Maybe later. Waste of good headaches, what that was, Belinda. I don't actually say that to her.
Okay.
So I think Braden's going to kind of turn to look to everyone and kind of say, well, I think this is probably the first time in, you know, over a week we've really had a bit of an opportunity to kind of sit down. I think we probably need to have a chat about where the hell we're going and what we're doing. I think there's a couple of things floating out there that hold our attention. I think Braden's going to look to Lianyu and just going to give him a nod that we said that we would assist with. But I think maybe we should take this time to get on the same page with everyone.
Yeah, it's that's still my number one priority right now is getting my sister back somehow. We do need to go to those caves, but once again, I know you guys do say you still want to come, but it's not really needed for you guys. It's just that with this whole other mission we're supposed to all be on, I'm not sure if I honestly even care for it all right now.
Well, I think it's kind of what I said earlier, right? Like we're obviously here for a reason as individuals. And look, I have been known to be wrong on occasion. Braden kind of smiles. He says, but I think we have to kind of deal with what's before us. I mean, what if part of what we have to do to get these 9 keys is, prove to these things that we can take care of our own shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, I could think of 3 dozen men that I know from back home that would be far better suited for a job like this than me. So why are they taking a ragtag group, and he kind of gestures to everyone in the room, including himself, to have such an important job, right? Like,
Mm.
we're not powerful people on our own accord.
I agree. I never really was able to completely finish my training, I suppose, and with the Yuehan, but Uh, maybe this is all part of it. For everyone. For me, it's the Yuehan. For all you guys, it's quite simply just solving your own issues. And in any case, I agree. We should probably be dealing with what's in front of us first. And that, for me at least, is getting my sister back. And then that's not really even in front of me, that's more extremely personal and next to me, whatever would be more important than in front of me. I'm not sure. Immediate, I suppose. To the point where, what I want to do at least is leave this place and start heading towards those caves as soon as possible.
Well, I think before we kind of, when we left the first city, our plan was to travel south to. He kind of looks over towards Noah. Freehold, free harbor, free port,
Free Harbor. Yeah.
fucking free harbor. To there. And I mean, look, you obviously have the mirror and know a little bit about it. You know, as a city, maybe there's someone there that can answer some questions. Maybe we can get a bit more information from there, right?
Mm.
Yeah. I think whatever we can do to just get a better grasp of what's really going on, we should take it. Going to Free Harbor sounds like a good first stop. And honestly, if for whatever reason we're all important to whatever's going on here, then maybe figuring out what's our issues, I guess, what each of us needs to do, like your sisters especially, seems the most time sensitive for one. Maybe we'll figure things out through that.
Maybe
No,
out of character, guys. Maybe it's best if like we do a quick synopsis of your character's main like goal initially in the short and long term, and then have Zero add it to our notes.
Yeah, I
That
can
way,
do
I
that.
could reference it at some point, um, and to make sure I have areas prepared that you might want to go to. Kind of tells me you're interested in, and that way, because your character is like, if they were living this, they would 100% remember. This way, in case you forget as a player, you can reference it as well.
Mm.
Yeah, we can do that.
Um, so just keep that in mind. If you don't discuss it like in character, I'll ask you out of character. So continue.
yeah, I think that's actually what Braden was actually trying to get to. Is so I think he'll kind of look towards Lianyu and kind of give a nod, and he's going to kind of say, "Look, I think one way or another, you know, we're obviously here as a group, and you know, if we are soldiers or whatever the hell we are for this thing that's pulling us together, it's important that we take care of one another, and you know, someone's suffering, we're suffering together." I think as Braden says that, he's gonna reach his left hand across the bar and kind of just try to kind of swipe the cup away from Zarura. And
No.
his intent is to pour half of it into an empty cup for himself, and then put the other half back towards her.
That's fair.
I think Braden's just going to kind of shrug and he'll look towards you, and he says, "We've obviously met one of your crewmates, but I mean, what else do you? What's kind of plaguing you?"
That all this smells like bullshit.
Yeah,
Look,
it's
you
pretty
sound
pungent.
committed or something, but we just got dropped here alone with a bunch of strangers, and now we have this. It's too big. I don't know. People are talking about God stuff and destinies and saving the fucking world. You're really just gonna accept that?
Absolutely not. What I'm gonna fucking accept is helping Lianyu find his sister. Something that maybe we can actually manage and achieve. Fuck the world stuff. Fuck the god stuff. Way above my pay grade. But I don't know. The Onion needs help. I'm gonna help him. Noah needs help. I'm gonna help him. What I'm asking is, the hell do you need help with if you're sitting here drinking first thing in the morning when you wake up?
Calling her out.
Well, doesn't seem like you're out here doing all that much better. By the way, that beer is awful. You will not enjoy that very much.
Right, and kind of like takes a sip and kind of like winces, like trying to keep a bit of a cold face, but definitely doesn't
Tastes like
kinda
fucking
keep it.
ashtrays
It does.
with like orange juice.
Yeah. I think she's gonna kind of sit there and just like look at it for a little bit and like shake the cup and watch some of the like stuff that shouldn't be there like kind of drift around in the liquid and
Flies.
ew, no, not that far. I think she's just gonna say, I had it figured out. And now it's unfigured out. And I wish I had better words for that, but like, I spent my whole life looking for something stable and then I found it. And now apparently whatever happened to me happened to all of them too.
So you're looking for stability.
I guess.
Well, I mean, it's not up to me to put those words in your mouth.
Right now it doesn't even feel like it's up to me.
Alright, look, if there's one thing that I want to try and do today, it's want to make it fucking up to us, right?
Yeah.
And I guess if we don't know what we want, it's never going to be up to us, is it? If you want to sit here and take orders from whatever the fuck is out there, then we can do
No.
that. Right. Well, I guess first thing is to figure out what the hell we all want, and then where we have to fucking go to get it.
All right.
You're right, I definitely don't enjoy this.
I'll take it back. And just
Nah,
press right back into mine.
Brayden kind of winces, and he'll look towards Seven, just kind of give him a gesture for a glass himself. He'll do his best to try and keep up with Zorora. But it won't end very well for him. I think Zorora is much more of a seasoned drinker than Brayden is. Yeah. And I think Brayden's probably gonna, look over towards Noah. What about yourself, Noah?
What about me?
Oh, what do you want to do?
Kind of just want to figure out what's happening. If I'm being honest with you.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a start.
I should also say that when I originally left the Yuhan, I was searching for my mother, kidnapped a while ago, and once my sister received a vision that she was safe. Whether she was healthy or not, who knows, but she was alive. And that's the original reason we left, but things happened and we were separated, and I wanted to find my sister, but I found her eventually. She was at least with me spiritually, whatever that means. Once now she's taken from me, and obviously that's still my first priority, but once I get my sister back, I want to be able to find my mother, but unfortunately I have absolutely no leads on that, so that's something that will come once a lead shows up.
All right. Well, I'm sure it'll show up eventually. And then I think Braden's gonna turn towards Dance and he's gonna kind of say, "And what about you? Are you just here to sightsee, or
What
you
about me?
obviously? Well, you. I mean, you're here with us
He,
right now.
he
You
was
believe that's
he was
chance?
probably in like one of the corners, like wherever his sleeping bag was. He was getting ready to pack it up,
I think Braden's gonna
and
say, "You think you're here by chance?"
chance or whatever. I've been thrown into weirder situations. This, like point around world saving. No, that's not. I'm gonna continue doing what I was.
And what exactly was that?
Getting rid of that bastard. And he'll like motion his hands to like make it to where his hair's on fire, like whenever the management shows up. Finding a place to
Finding a place what?
finding a place to rest.
I think Braden's gonna say, I mean, you heard what Seb said earlier. Some groups lasted hours, some groups lasted days, some lasted weeks. I'm sure the ones that lasted hours will be the ones that split up.
Makes you think you're any different.
Oh, Braden kind of shrugs. Says, I made a promise. And, I'm not any different than kind of pre-fated what's going to happen to me, right? But I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and just let it happen.
Good luck with
Are you afraid?
In the pause, I ask for a second drink.
Sebastian silently pours you another one.
I think Braden's gonna look down to his drink. It's probably like still 3/4 full. He'll kind of grumble under his breath, and he'll kind of slam the last of his down. He's adamant on trying to let action speak for words. Try to keep up with Zerura. And yeah, he'll kind of look towards the others and say, "Well, I guess when you kind of met us, I don't really know what the hell happened. I was in ice. I, look, we haven't really had much of a chance of speaking, but surely the others might be able to offer something." He'll look towards the other people in the room.
Just give a big shrug. Seemed as much random chance as anything else has been, which is either all of it or none of it.
Sebastian's going to take out another piece of paper and draw a very fine, very like lazy outskirt of. Then he's like, I'm really bad at this, and he's gonna like flip the page over and then hand it to Belinda. And then she's gonna like be eating what appears to be, as players you would realize are French toast sticks, but it just looks like there's sugar. There's some kind of sugar bread she's dipping it into, and some kind of like shiny liquid. And she's like mid chewing, and he just hands it to her, and she's like, okay, and then starts and she starts drawing as he describes. There is a village in between a set of mountains, a place called the Foot of the Heavens. Up top there lives a master. If anyone can help you tame a spirit of fire, that would be him.
That's not what that funky box told me.
He shrugs.
think Brayden just kind of shrugs as well. He's gonna kind of like look down into his cup. He's gonna kind of say, you think I'd like trying to find some kind of fucking purpose here? I hate this place, to be honest. I mean, if you just want to heal over here, until whatever happens to us happens, fuck it, right? I'll call dibs on this chair and drag me off when I go. I don't know. I just thought we might all share my enthusiasm of being sick of being dragged and ordered on where to go. Might want to take our own initiative up on something. Maybe I have the wrong group. Brayden's going to kind of stand up from his chair and he'll grab his drink and he'll kind of take a sip of it and he'll look to Seb and he says, when you see me again, Seb, hopefully there'll be stronger company. And I'll give Seb a nod and Brayden will leave the room.
Shit.
Damn, he just roasted you.
That was good.
I loved it.
I think after after a minute or two, I think I'm gonna kind of turn around and just. He's right, It's. I don't think I want to be here, but I'd rather be here on my terms than dragged around, like he's saying. Problem is
Sebastian
none of it's on
chuckles.
our terms.
You don't find destiny, it'll find you eventually.
Sounds like more bullshit, honestly.
Even if you wanted to do this fight against destiny or whatever and take control of your whole life, what you're saying is amounting to killing gods. You can't exactly just will fate away like you are one. Good luck with that. Not my cup of
Belinda visibly shivers.
You okay?
She
That's
nods while
Belinda.
eating a French toast stick. Roll inside if you so desire.
Sure. 16.
She became very uncomfortable the moment he mentioned fate.
Interesting. So is this your thing about feeling other people's pain? Can you feel what's happening right now?
She looks at you and nods.
Does it hurt?
All the time. $134.
134.
Men being
Of what?
beaten.
And you know what? Can you feel things that aren't pain also?
She shakes her head. That's not my gift.
Well, there goes that idea.
She can give you a more concrete answer depending exactly what you're asking for.
I want to know if her empathy is that. Is it empathy? Can she take on other people's emotional states and stuff like that? Can she feel other people's
Any
joy as well as
distress.
their pain?
Any
Any
negative
distress,
emotion.
but nothing else?
Yep. That includes anger as well.
Some gift.
Does anything make it stop? Even just for a little.
She looks around. It's a lot more dull here. It's almost like
Yeah.
I'm far away.
Well, then it sounds like this is the place for you.
She looks at the door, and then Sebastian looks at her and then shakes his head very firmly.
Which door? Like a door to
main door.
leave? Yeah, okay. Well, that seems like a good concrete thing that we know, right? We can. I don't know how, but not bring her worse, right?
He's gonna look at her and then say no. And she's like, it only happened one time. And he's like, one is way too many.
What happened?
And then Belinda kind of looks at you and be like, it's nothing important.
Okay. If it's not important, then it won't be a problem to tell me.
So, you know how people get hurt
Mm-hmm.
and they don't move anymore.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
happened.
do.
But
To
only
you.
once.
That's a little more important than you said it was.
No, well, I mean, I moved again eventually.
Well, judging by
And it
how.
said I had to. I didn't really have a choice.
Who said you had to?
It.
It. What is it?
It's my friend. She leans in and close, and she tries to whisper to you. Everyone else may make a perception check if you so desire to hear this. It says, I am its favorite.
22
15.
on perception.
What did you just say? 52?
22.
15.
Oh, okay.
I heard 52 also.
I'm like,
The overlap.
hold on.
Damn.
I
Hold
can
up.
see everything.
My man's got Belinda eyes all over his body.
Leanu doesn't care too much on prying on someone else's secrets, I guess, if they're whispering it. So
Okay. I'm gonna kind of lean in and
What's the DC to be able to?
Oh, the DC is 15.
Oh,
And the specific line she whispered was what again?
It says I'm its favorite.
Okay. Thank you.
okay. I'm gonna kind of lean in and like put a hand over my mouth, like halfway to keep it from being like visible and halfway to not blast her with like alcohol breath. Is it something that talks to you all the time?
She nods. Well, not all the time. Other times I just get feelings. Like I need to be at a certain place at a certain time. And she looks down. When I don't do it, I feel bad things happening. I don't like it.
Okay. Sweetie, you don't have to tell me, but what bad things?
She starts to tear up a little bit. Not good.
Okay, it's okay. Never mind. Can you hear it while you're in here? Or is it only when you're out there and pointing at the door?
I hear it all the time. I ignore it most of the time. Sometimes it's not very nice to me. Sometimes it
No.
is.
Well, you know what? Friends are always nice to each other.
Hmm.
They should be, at least.
Does that mean you'll always be nice to me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. I'll be your friend. Do you
Does
want
that
to be
mean I
my
can have
friend?
candy?
If I have candy to give you, I will give you candy. I don't have any candy.
Okay. Deal.
But yeah. Friends? Hold out my hand.
She shakes it.
All right. I got one more question. You don't have to answer it again. When you go to the places that you feel like you should go, what happens there? Is there anything that goes on, or is it just you're just there?
She looks up and she says, well, I met you
Hmm.
the first time.
For the first time. What was that? In the alleyway, right? In Oslo?
She shakes her head.
Okay. Quick clarification. When you mentioned that the lore drops are things that our characters kind of see, would there be like an understanding of, would she necessarily make the connection between the washing up
That
on the
is up
beach
to
and the
you.
map?
These are things that you would receive in your dreams
Okay, but she
from the
wouldn't like.
perspective of the story.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's probably like really hazy then, and she probably doesn't necessarily understand that either that's a thing that really happened or that might be, what she's alluding to or anything like that. I think I'm gonna have her not understand it fully.
Belinda will tap your arm. You shouldn't lose those.
I agree. um, I don't know how you know that, but I'll work on it.
She
And I'll tell
smiles.
you what, you shouldn't lose. And I'm gonna like kind of point at her eyes, like not like I'm going to poke her in the eye or something, but very clearly like one finger toward each eye. You should do your best not to lose those. Yeah?
Hmm.
It's important to me. And I think that it would be really nice, a nice thing to do for me, and I'm your friend, if you take care of yourself.
Only when I have to.
No. Here, listen. You told me that you were selfless. It's a selfless thing to do what your friends ask you to do. Do things that make your friends feel good and feel happy. And it would make me feel good and feel happy if you don't hurt yourself.
She doesn't nod, and then she just like nods a little bit and then hugs you.
Okay, sweetie, thank you. I'm sorry if I made you feel angry.
She attempts to crawl into your lap,
I'll let her.
and she pulls over her food and starts to eat. All right, what do you guys do?
If this is a good stopping point for that, do we want to go back and talk out of character about like the immediate goal and the things that we want to do, like so that I can write those down like plainly?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's a good idea.
We can go just down the list. Braden, start.
A kind of interesting one. Like I didn't have any specifically coming into this. I think with the whole cultist stuff, I kind of want to learn a little bit more about it. I think so you said like short term, long term, right? was what you suggested initially, Theo.
Yeah, short term, long term.
I think a short-term one would be to learn a little bit more about the cultists. I actually like on the radar or hierarchy of like things of importance. I don't think Braden actually has them particularly high, just because they're in like a different like realm. They might not be like the same. So I think short-term Braden wants to learn a little bit more to kind of understand what it is they're doing. Long-term, I think, is just kind of figure out like obviously like what the goal and what exactly it is they're moving towards. And that might even be like a more relevant short-term goal. But like for him, I think it's more important to figure out what exactly they're doing and what they're trying to achieve. Honestly, like I don't really have one. If you have to write something down though, just to kind of save the word vomit, put down short term would probably be like learn a little bit more about the cultists and what they're trying to do, and get some direction on what we're trying to do. And then long term, I think it's probably gonna be an evolution of those two things, depending on what the answers are. If that makes sense. If that's not too like vague.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. All right,
I think
Donson.
like yeah.
We're talking about like character goals.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as anyone knows, that he shared that he is trying to get rid of the new management and then find a place to rest.
Okay.
I dropped my dice and I lost it. I have no idea where the fuck it went.
No.
Yeah, it's like one of my D20s too, so I kind of need that fucking thing.
No.
I have a
Just
whole
roll
dice
a
chest full of
D100
them.
and divide it by 20.
Huh?
Just roll a D100 and divide it by 20.
Still, it's not the same.
For me, I mean, I kind of said them. Like, my sister is the immediate like goal, barely even short term, honestly. And my long term is definitely the finding his mother thing. But that's something that Saloon or someone else is gonna have to give him some kind of lead on, because he has no clue about the outside world, and he's trying to find one person in it. So
I fucking found it. It was right beneath my fucking chair. Son of a bitch.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, at least you know what? I'll take it. I found it. I swear to God, I searched that spot and it just fucking appeared. I could see why people used to believe in shit like fucking fairies fucking with you. Because it's like you look at it, you don't see it, and then you look at that same spot again, and suddenly it's there.
Or like when you
Sorry,
lose
by the way.
something and you ask your mom and she just grabs it from exactly where you're staring.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a more extreme version of that, but you know. All right. Um. Okay. So, Noah.
For short term, Noah wants to figure out more about what exactly the fuck is happening to them. Um, specifically for a goal is in Free Harbor, and I think I asked about this in a previous session. He wants to look for some place to do research, to try and garner information and maybe piece together things from history or things like that to figure out some sort of pattern or things referencing some of the things they've encountered or what's happening to them just to get an idea. Um, so research towards figuring things out. Long term, uh, without going too into detail, he kind of just wants to figure out how he can actually be useful and where he can actually provide something to someone
Okay.
as general and not very concrete as that of an answer that is.
No, that's fair.
All right. Um. Yeah. So I think that's everything. I don't think Zero needs to,
I
unless
mean,
you
I
want
can
to
talk about it if
elaborate.
people
Yeah, yeah,
want me to
yeah,
talk about it. I just wrote
yeah,
it down.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
was definitely
short
gonna
term.
ask.
that's what I meant. My
Yeah.
bad.
You're good. The short term would be figuring out like the consequences of the stuff with the box. So, whatever deal was made, and then also the vision that followed, like asking for something, which I actually don't think I talked about. And then long term, I kind of same as Brayden. I didn't come into this with like an intentional, like concrete goal so much as there are certain things emotionally that I want her to work out that are founded in that thing about like she had it figured out and now everything's fucked. So I just wrote down some emotional bullshit. That's my my line.
I
Love
guess
it.
that's a good way to describe my long term as well. Is very
Yeah.
much kind of what you two are also doing. He has
Yeah.
stuff he needs
It's
to work
like
through, and
who
yeah,
are we in this new world that we've been thrown into, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
Change,
Cool.
changing the
That covers
story and
it.
letting the story change us.
Hey.
I feel like it's almost kind of difficult to come in with something super concrete when the premise of the story is the way that it is.
Hmm.
I wish I had better words for that. Where there's been like a time skip and we're suddenly uprooted from where we were and we don't really have a reason to be in the place that we suddenly are. I like it though. It's like it's a cool new angle. But it's definitely a challenge from a character creation standpoint. That covers it. I got it in the notes.
All
There's a
right.
little
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
subhead,
Cool.
and if you have the outline open, you can skip straight to it.
Amazing.
All right. So you guys are going to be spending a couple of days fully recuperating from all of your injuries and woes. So you guys can describe what you do during that time. And if you guys want that, we could also just reserve that as the text RP for a while, and then we could have you guys proceed in your adventure 1 week from quote now.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that, unless anyone has something specifically that they want
I would be
everyone here
interested
for.
in chasing down Brayden.
Mhm.
Potentially not by myself, if anybody else is, but I don't know if we're wanting to leave like that conversation with that kind of dissonance going.
I'm pretty flexible with whatever we wanna do. If you wanna like do it like tech stuff, or we wanna do it now, or people want to have conversations, I'm pretty chill with whatever the group wants to do. The main reason I kind of ejected myself was I just wanted to make sure other people had time to kind of do some of the talking in the RP. I didn't want to kind of drive, so that was the
No,
main
you're
reason I
fine.
ejected, just to make sure I wasn't kind of talking over anyone.
I thought you were good. Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, I had no issues with that. I liked it.
Okay. So you guys have all your equipment prepared, ready to go out on your next adventure. Um, and as you get ready to leave, Sebastian says, "Think of where you want to be, and I'll bring you as close as I can."
Well, trying to go to Free Harbor, right?
To imagine for sure Donson has tried to before, but every time it just opens the door to the kitchen. Can't leave until everyone else wants to leave.
Sorry, it might have just been me, but I didn't get most of that.
I think I got the gist. He's just like
Okay.
he's like pulling on the door and being like, "Why won't this bitch open?" It just won't until
Okay.
everyone's ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
the fates are intervening and be like, "Nope, nope, this is your party now."
What I was saying was like Donson on the same day that the conversation happened, he tries to leave, but whenever he opens
Oh.
the door, he just walks out of the kitchen instead.
I, I love that. Yeah. Okay. No. Cool. Yeah. So I think the morning of we're getting ready to go. I'm gonna say Braden's probably been like pretty grumpy over the past couple of days, and probably has been like a little bit on the more reclusive side. I think the morning that we're kind of getting ready to dispatch, if it's 2 days or a couple of days, whatever you mentioned, I think he's going to be kind of by the door. He'll have his kind of armor on. He'll have his kind of glaive and spear kind of slung over his back. He'll be kind of holding onto his shield with his pack, and yeah, basically getting ready to go. And I think he'll probably just say his goodbyes to Belinda. Say I'll be sure to see you again. Stay out of trouble. Yeah.
The bird sticks his head out of its door.
Look, bud, me and you is just not going to work like that. I don't really know
It
the first thing about a bird.
looks so betrayed.
I think Braden's gonna kind of let out like a kind of heavy sigh, and like I imagine they probably had a couple chats over the couple of days. I think Braden's gonna kind of say like without getting into it all. I think the summary of what Braden will probably try to explain is, look, you have this great open space here in this magical place where you get food and sausages and you get attention and people. It's gonna kind of say like, we're about to go into a city. It's probably not going to work too well. I don't really know how to take care of birds. I don't know how to fly a bird. I'm not very good with animals. That's kind of just going to kind of be the vibe. Braden's going to kind of say, but feel free to stay here. Or if you want, we can try and find you a new home.
It is insistently following you.
I think, yeah, like I don't think Braden's gonna like suplex the bird or anything, but
Hold on!
he's
Hold on!
like there's only so
too,
much.
actually.
Hold on, that's a quote.
I think. Sorry.
Seeing this, Donson is definitely gonna look over, being the druid that he is. He's gonna like give you the advice of the bird has imprinted on you. It recognizes you as its parent.
Well, this bird's gonna have trauma because I met it slashing at its fucking talons, taking off its riding gear. Then we spent 3 days in
This is
prison.
a what kind of bird is it? It's a griffin, right?
It's a
Fucking rock.
It's a rock.
Oh, it's a
technically.
rock.
It's a miniature rock, more or less a griffin.
So it's like-
Donson will just follow that up with, that is what it does.
Right. Well, look, I'm happy to play bird dad, but what the hell am I supposed to do with a bird in a city?
What do you do with a child in a city?
You don't bring it into the city.
Dude, okay, I just looked at the quotes and I just read Braden points a ceremony dagger. Where is he? What did you do? I did nothing. It is his fate. Well, tell his fate to get the fuck back here.
I think
so many good quotes.
I think Braden's just gonna kind of cross his arms and say, "Well, maybe you can be the bird's hopeful uncle and help take care of it."
No.
And he kind of claps you on the shoulder and says, "I'm glad you came around. All right, let's go." And he's just gonna kind of take a few
I
steps
don't
away.
know why
from
you think I'm going to join you after we. Very naive.
Braden's gonna kind of stop. And he says, "Look, just give us 48 hours in this city. We're at the city to get answers. I'm sure you could probably do with a few yourself. If it's a waste of time, shout at me or whatever the hell you want. I'm sure you can spend 2 days. Or do you have to run that by management?"
I'm leaving to this foot of the heavens. That is where I intend to go.
Well, what do you know about it?
Figure it out.
Maybe you could figure it out in the city. With us.
Going to a temple.
I plan on doing some research if you want to join me.
you see is just Donson's eyes narrow. He does not give an
Brayden smiles and says, "If I bring the bird, will you come with us?"
bird is not my responsibility. It's yours.
Yeah.
You know, Sebastian's gonna say you could call it bird, or you could call it by its name.
Yeah, we're not that close just yet. I think Brayden's gonna kind of look at the bird, and like, there's definitely like a bit of a glint of like he's kind of coming around to it, but I think Brayden's a very practical person through and through. Also, like, just for clarity, when you say like miniature rock, is that like a miniature giant or tall dwarf? Right? Like, what exactly is a miniature rock? Is it like a big
normal
eagle, or is
rock
it a
is-
small?
A
I bet
normal-
giant.
A
Yeah.
normal rock is massive. This one is this one's about the size of a griffin.
Okay, so it's like maybe a horse size
Yeah,
kind of thing. I'm just trying to get like an idea of how big this thing is. Okay.
it's like the size of a horse. Is a good comparison.
Okay.
So Donson does not speak Aarakocran. So can I use like animal handling or something to try and learn it? I have Druidic. I don't know if that'll allow me to talk to animals. Can I like?
You can talk to it in Druidic.
Oh, I can. I'm gonna ask it. It's
It says Aetherius.
it goes by Aetherius.
It turns very small.
I was not expecting.
It is now a small model.
Well,
Never did say where you got the bird from.
it swooped me out of midair, and then I stabbed it.
Rocks typically do that.
Well, Brandon's gonna kind of look at like the miniature. Like, when you say miniature, like, is it like a statue?
It's like a little statue, yeah.
Okay,
It
so
fits in your palm.
like the drawing. I think seeing that, I think Braden's gonna look over to Belinda and just kind of tilt his head to her. Well, maybe that fixes that. Let's just get going, yeah.
He's gonna leave the statue on the ground.
Oh, so Braden will pick up the statue.
Oh, okay.
Hold out, leave it on the floor. Yeah, look.
See ya.
Mm.
Right, we heading through the door into the city.
I think so.
All right, let's go.
All right.
I'll open the door.
Important question: who's opening the door? Because if Don Sen's opening, he's gonna try and take everyone to the foot of the mountain or foot of the
I
heaven.
think I just walked up to it and started opening it, unless someone else wants to.
I like to imagine like Donson does go try to open the door, but it just takes him to the kitchen again. Even though everyone's ready to go.
All right. By the way, everyone here roll me a history check.
Out of curiosity, what for?
I'll tell you if you pass.
1. That checks out. One.
Well, I definitely
7.
don't know the least. I for sure don't know the most.
All right. What did you guys get?
7.
8.
18.
Oh, nice. You know that the name Aetherius is another name for the word is another word for the name for heavens.
Okay. Good to know. When we open the door and walk out, what do we come up right on the city, or where do we show up exactly?
You show up on top of a hill, seeing the city below you.
Okay, so like a few minutes out.
Yeah, like probably an hour's travel.
Okay. Looks like it's a little bit of a walk, but almost there. And if everyone else is ready, I'll start walking towards the town.
Yeah, I mean, how much trouble could we get up to from here to there, right?
That's just inviting it.
Noah's eyes start darting around a little bit the moment he says that.
I think Brayden just kind of smiles and shuffles the pack on his back. All right, let's get going.
You guys step through the door,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
and the door shuts behind you. And you guys notice the flames around Donson grow a little bit more red.
You're right there.
This is no different than when you have.
All right. Well, guess let's get to the city and find that library. Yeah.
Nobody is. We have just enters Donson's insanity arc. It only doesn't happen in the place between. Thank Theo. So how far away are we from the shitty?
About an hour.
Is there a cart nearby?
There is a couple of farmers dragging a cart.
I think upon seeing them, I think Brayden's maybe just gonna kind of look to the others and say, maybe it's in our best interest to not get stuck in with locals around here. Let's just get what we came here to do. Thoughts?
I agree.
I will meet you in the city then. He's gonna wild shape into a warhorse and just go.
Wow.
Would everyone like to roll me a perception check?
Yes, sir.
You mean a javelin? I'm kidding. Yeah, perception.
13.
9.
A very
17.
familiar looking airship is in front of you in the air, about to dock at the city.
Oh.
Familiar
will,
looking, as in like the one that we were on, or
The
like
one you were on.
The Decon.
okay. Clarifying question: is he still in the place between places, or did he leave?
He left before you guys returned.
Fuck. Okay. At some point, I would have asked after him. So did that
I
not
will-
crash?
I distinctly remember it crashing.
Oh no, that I need a favor from you guys, so I just had that happen.
Noah's hand is gonna go to his dagger at his hip. Just kind of rest there, looking
Why so
around.
hostile? Besides, wait, do you hear that?
Hear what?
There is a shepherd's crook appearing behind him. Oh no, it must have been. He disappears.
I assume that was the gnome.
That was the gnome.
Fizzle fuck. All right. I think yeah. Obviously, he kind of disappears as quickly as he appeared, but I think Braden was definitely kind of on edge. But it's gonna kind of sigh.
I still don't get what he wants.
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine.
Zerba,
Hmm.
do you want to check out that ship?
I mean, am I wrong to be a little suspicious?
No, I don't think so.
But yeah, I want to look at it. And if Takan left, he might have gone somewhere. Maybe he's back on a ship.
Possibly. I'm down to check that out first before I do any research if you'd like.
Yeah, that would make one person in this city that I actually want to see. So
Any objections?
No, done.
Let's go. I'll start walking again.
Yeah.
Towards the docks where that ship is docking.
You guys walk and you're close to a gate where it looks like there is immigration control.
How strict does it seem to, like, is it getting into the city as opposed to how it looked compared in like, Osral?
Well, roughly the same. You know, I mean, people.
Okay.
It's mostly used to have tariffs and things like that.
Okay. Can I
But you notice that as you approach, a lot of people are being turned away at an unusual rate.
Okay. Can I scan the walls or anywhere near the entrance for the wanted posters we saw in Osral?
You don't see any, but you notice an unusual amount of guards,
Okay.
like on top of the walls. Your
Okay.
instincts tell you they're on high alert.
I think like as we're approaching, if people are being turned away, is it fair to assume that they're kind of like walking in the opposite direction to us, like passing us?
Yeah.
I think Braden's just going to kind of like reach a hand out and almost like kind of like putting his hand out to kind of like block the path of just the first person he really sees, and he's just going to kind of say, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Oh, it's a commoner, and he's gonna say, "Man, they're not letting anyone fucking in, dude. I don't know what's going on." They say, "Oh, for security, the city's closed." But I mean, I traveled like a week to get here.
It's probably because a flaming warhorse just ran in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Oh, before the warhorse landed, a ballista fires at the ground. Kind of like a warning shot.
If you're running fast enough, they can't hit you.
You want to try that?
You literally got flame decals. You can't go any fast. Like, you're going as fast as you possibly can.
I mean, what are the odds they can hit something going 120 feet every 6 seconds?
20 feet a second.
It's every 6 seconds. So, not 120 feet per second.
No, 20 feet a second. 20 feet a second.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Spicy.
well, I mean, no harm in trying, is there? To get them to let us in.
Let's hope they do.
Just to confirm, is Mr. Warhorse like I imagine he probably got to the gate for us, you know, being a fucking horse. What did he do?
Someone like, I will say this, when you come up to the gate, someone notices there's a horse unattended and tries to ride you.
He just becomes a person. Like I imagine he got there first, so he's no longer a warhorse by this point, but he would have been up at the gate trying to get.
Gotcha. I would like to believe that the person like just like hopped up mid hop, you become a person. He just lands in midair.
Johnson just turning to him. And what made you think you would be able to ride a horse that was on fire?
It's a good point. I should reconsider my decision making process.
Alerting.
Just to confirm, that means no rides, right?
Just walks.
Okay.
Donson at the gate trying to get in. Everyone else is trying to get in. Story.
Yeah, so like I think after hearing that from the commoner, I think I imagine everyone else in the party probably heard the same thing, and I think Brayden is just going to kind of shrug and says, "Surely we can have a bit of a chat with them. Surely they can make an exception."
Well, there are bound to be some people they can't keep out.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna probably approach up towards towards the gate. There's a line or however it kind of is formed.
All
And so
right.
that's what Brayden's doing.
Hold on 1 second. All right. So you guys get up into the line. It takes a little bit. The line's moving pretty slowly, but now it's like it's becoming less and less of a line, and everyone's moving up to basically like to basically to form like a mob, and the guards are like becoming more and more irritated on trying to shut down the city. And to get the gist of the guards are yelling, "It's for your safety as much as ours."
How close are we to like the front of this? Like for what I'm kind of picturing is like almost like a mob. Like how far away are we?
You're in the back.
I think Brayden's just gonna look towards the others and just kind of give a shrug and says, I want to find out what the fuck's going on. He'll kind of like look at the others, like not necessarily wanting to just like sprint off on his own, kind of get a bit of like a vibe check. But that's what Brayden says.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Yeah.
I think Brayden just kind of nods and says, just stay close. These things can turn ugly pretty quickly. And Brayden is very glad to be back inside a city. He is definitely a city person. And yeah, Brayden's gonna make his way through the crowd. If he'll shove if he has to, and just kind of wants to kind of get up towards the front row.
All right, you get up into the front with not much issue because like some people get kind of like irritated that you're pushing them, and they kind of turn around and see this heavily armed and armored guy, and he's like, and they're like, okay.
Yeah. As soon as we're in sight of one of the guards, I'm gonna kind of like push my way to the front and say, "Hey, you can't keep people out who live here.
The
I'm
guard,
just trying to go home."
the guard spits. It's for your safety as much as ours. There's a killer
What
on the
are you
loose.
keeping out here? One killer in Free Harbor, and you're keeping the whole city out. I just want to go home.
He says it's more than just a killer. There's been a lot of deaths.
And Brayden's gonna like look
Selling
down to him.
cereal.
He's gonna like look down to himself and to Zorua and to the rest of the party, and he says, "And what the fuck do you think we're here for? We're adventurers. We heard there was issue in Free Harbor. We came to do what we fucking do. Let us in. We're here to help."
Roll deception unless you're telling the truth.
Um,
Can I give
to
good donation for
Zorua,
that?
yeah, or like if yeah. Before I roll, I'll kind of let that get figured out.
I'm sorry?
Zura asked if she can give
That's what I was
like help.
asking what you said.
Oh yeah, if I can give advantage for helping or whatever.
Only because if you can convince him that you are a local.
Yeah. I mean that would be a persuasion, probably not deception. For
Yep,
me at
for you,
least.
correct.
Okay. Can I roll that? Is that
You
cool?
may roll that, yes.
Okay.
And if you succeed,
And
he will have advantage on his roll.
I also still do have the wristband from Ogodir that gives me advantage on persuasion. Yeah.
Yep, that's what he gave you. I have a
Yep.
list of everything, except I have
Yeah.
so many pages of notes that yeah. And
That's a
the sad thing, they're
25.
in a bunch of different documents, so
Unfortunate. 25.
that will succeed.
I should hope so.
All right, Brayden, roll your deception.
Can Brayden use? Okay, so could I use intimidation instead of deception? My thought process of being like a guy with like two pole arms on his back and a shield, and like heavy
That's fair.
armor is like we're here to kill the killer. Get the fuck out of the way. I'll leave it up to you if you think
That's
that's
fair, yeah.
appropriate. Yep. So, it is 23 and a 7, so 23, which was the first roll as well.
Oh, so you're here to deal with it? Who hired you?
Brayden kind of looks at him and smiles and says, "We're hiring ourselves. We heard there was an issue here. We're here to help. Move aside."
Oh, I mean, we're not supposed to just let anyone in. I mean, I'm gonna get fired if I do that.
Would you rather be dead?
Ah.
That's a threat.
So
roll intimidation with disadvantage because
the intent behind it is like the
No, you said would you rather be
wit.
dead?
No. But
No,
like
I
for
get-
me,
that's not a threat.
what I'm
That's a-
saying
your other
isn't
option.
I get what he's trying to
Brayden
say.
threatening it. It's would you rather this killer kill you? But it's also Brayden saying it in that way as well. So it's kind of like
So-
double.
Okay,
It's like two.
The
Okay.
issue is the conversation line does not make your context make sense unless you say it out loud.
Yeah.
You said with disadvantage?
Because there's easily 24 guards on top of the things with fucking crossbows.
Okay. Oh no, 7 with a disadvantage. I rolled the same
Oh,
rolls
no.
again.
Curse.
Oh
It
wow.
was 24 otherwise. Yeah.
Oh no. I'll tell you what.
Brayden says that. Yep.
I tell you what. I will give Zero the option to assist you to negate disadvantage in that roll, let Evie roll. If she can provide, if she believes her character has information that would possibly help, either help the investigation, or potentially point out someone powerful that could be almost like a benefactor to you.
Yeah, I mean, out of character, I don't know the specifics. But she would definitely know things like the safe houses and the back alley routes and where questionable people would go to avoid being seen by anybody else. So she would probably have some leads on like places to start looking. Does
Okay.
that check?
If you believe your character would be willing to like say that to say that, I'll let him have another roll on that if you want to roll
Yeah.
for it. Because basically what happened is you're basically now at the starting line again because you had some progress, you lost it again. So this is. God damn it! I dropped my dice again. Fuck! Now I know where it is. Fuck! There it is.
So was Zorua rolling or
Yeah, I
Zorua
was waiting
rolling?
for a roll.
Oh yeah, am I
Okay.
rolling?
So
persuasion again?
I was just confused. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it'd be just an issue of like you want somebody around
I
here
have a
who
certain amount. What
knows
I'm
the way
doing is I
around
have a
then.
certain amount of bar that I want you guys to clear. I have like an internal amount, like it's almost like a speech battle of points. And you have to reach a certain
Skill
score to pass
check.
it.
Okay, so is this persuasion again?
And based on your argument and your creativeness, all this, I'm awarding a different amount of points per thing.
16.
Okay. So the guard will look to Braden and says, "I hope you're not threatening me."
Brayden kind of raises an eyebrow and says, "I'm saying if you want this killer caught or not."
The guard's gonna sigh and be like, "All right, look. Come into the gatehouse. You can talk to the captain. But if he doesn't say you can come in, it's out of my hands."
Brayden just kind of gives a shrug and looks to Zerawa.
Yeah,
All
it's our
right.
best bet, right?
All right. Well, just tell us where we gotta go.
He directs you inside and to the left. You see a small gatehouse.
All right. Yeah. I guess just follow the directions towards the gatehouse.
Okay. You guys enter and you see a man at a desk. Would everyone like to roll me a insight, please?
Okay.
15.
Also
15.
What?
Oh, wait, sorry, no, 18. 18. I forgot
I
to add my
rolled a
modifier.
15. But
Yeah, I
got
rolled
a
a
se-
God.
15.
I got a 17.
Okay.
18 total for me.
He stops. So he starts a little bit, and then it seems like he recognized you, but you have no idea who this guy is. He says, "Come
All of
in,
us?
come in. What can I do for you?"
Like he recognized all of us?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Brayden kind of enters, and I think he's probably gonna let Zorua kind of take lead, and I think he'll just kind of like give a side glance towards her.
Yeah, your guards are giving us some trouble at the gate. Listen, we heard on the road that there was some trouble. We're on our way to my home, and we have the skills to help out.
Yeah,
She's gonna look very like annoyed and exasperated while speaking.
he nods and starts writing down some notes and some parchment. Do any of you speak? Let's see, Goblin?
Nope.
No.
I don't.
No.
Gotcha. So he starts writing notes in an unusual language. And he says, "Well, we've got orders to keep everyone out until we solve this problem. Unfortunately, look, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to help out. But the problem is, we've had two dozen deaths in 3 days."
All right. I think you misunderstood. I'm not trying to help my home out of the good of my heart. I'm trying to go home. There's someone in my way. I've seen and dealt with a couple of people here in my life. It's not that different. And what's 4, 5 more? You can pass it off as some idiots who broke in. That's your worst case. Your best case, problem solved. I get to go home. Yeah?
Roll persuasion.
Motherfucker, I roll like comically low in this campaign. 14.
That's not bad.
Well, that's with a +6.
Oh, okay, that's a little worse.
Yeah,
Huh.
an advantage.
I need everyone to roll me a investigation.
Okay.
19.
While in this room, by the way, because we're in a separate building, I would like to, as subtly as I can, just look around for anything of note.
I got a 19. Natural 20
16.
minus 1.
He
5.
has Noah. What are your languages again?
Noah, Dwarvish, Elvish, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant.
Got you. He has a ring from he has a thieves ring on.
Okay. Does it? Because thieves, do they all? From what I understand, do they all? I technically don't think Noah would know a ton about it, other than things he's heard. But from what he understands, do all thieves work under the same branch, or are there like
And
different
this,
branches
there's
per student?
basically one overarching criminal organization, and a lot of other ones that are like parallel but below.
Okay. Does this ring resemble any of the stuff we saw back when we worked with the goblins?
Um, you may roll me a history,
Okay.
and I'll get those rolls from you for in a second about the investigation.
Okay. 16 for history.
He's a member of the family.
Of the family, was that people
Oh,
we worked with?
A
Or is
criminal
that
syndicate.
one of the big boys? Okay.
Now, did anyone roll above a 14 investigation?
I
Yes.
got 19.
16.
17.
He is not a human as he appears. Instead,
Hmm.
he is a goblin.
3
Oh,
goblins in a
okay.
trench coat.
That's the vibe that I'm getting.
Look, bugbears could pass as people.
So he's gonna say, well, like I said, I'd love to help you, but I can't. And his pointy ears twitch as he feels you looking directly at him instead of where his head is supposed to be. Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm like I'm gonna look at like his ears and like complexion, but very obviously.
He kind of thumbs his ring. Hold on.
If I can quietly whisper to Zerwa and point out that he's associated with the family. Oh God, do I have those?
I don't remember. Are you from here?
No, I'm not from Free Harbor.
Are you from this place though? This world?
Yeah, I'm from this planet or
Okay.
this continent. I don't know what that would be though. Do I have something like that?
You, as far as I know, you were never affiliated with the family, were you?
No, definitely not. So I don't think I would catch on to him doing that then.
You would know what he's doing, but you don't know the answer.
Okay.
He's more or less asking for a call sign.
Okay. Then
I got a fucking call sign for him.
Wrong character.
no.
Raise my throw it on the ground, bud.
No, so I don't know that, but I will whisper to Zerwa as quietly as I can that I noticed that and that I think he's from the family. Just because I think she might know a bit more about this specific area and about that than me.
likely true. Depends on how much Theo wants me to have known. This would all be stuff
You
that
would
I
know
wouldn't
of them.
maybe
You
know
don't
in
know their
character.
you
Yeah.
don't know anything about them because you were never a part of their organization. You just know that
Okay.
anyone who fucked with them tended to disappear.
All right, and they wouldn't have like ever hired out or anything like that. Like,
They could have like they could have used pirates as like impromptu cargo, like kind of like door dashing for criminals.
yeah,
Where you would
DoorDash for criminals.
yeah, where they would use you to ship illicit cargo as smugglers.
yeah, because that's more or less like what she was doing.
Yeah, so
So
you would be more familiar with them than most people. But you're still not a part of
Okay.
their organization. But
Yeah.
you would probably have a call sign.
Okay. Would Noah's
like whisper and sign be enough for me to be able to respond
It
with that?
given your background information, you would probably recognize that his motion where he used his thumb to touch his inner ring finger on his ring, um, means that he's asking for your call sign.
Okay. I'll do it then.
You can make that whatever you so desire.
Okay. I have no idea.
Oh, you telling me you can't have something off the top of your head? Come on, you got this.
Zero picking.
I don't fucking know. Yeah. No. Um
Oh my god, that almost became canon.
no, we'll go with like a touch to the left eyebrow, which she conspicuously has 2 rings in as well. Like 2
Okay, that's
piercings.
cool. I like it. And he notates. So who are you supposed to be with?
Well, bit of a free agent at the moment. Like I said, I'm trying to get home, trying to get back.
I see. Look, the reason I'm in this position, the family's tired of whoever this is. They're disrupting business, and business is supposed to be good.
All right. I'll amend my offer then. It isn't just about looking the other way and letting me get home. We will help you. Then you let me get home.
I'll tell you what. You agree to take this on, and what we'll do is I'll arrange for passes for you to be in the city. And if you succeed, we'll owe you a favor.
Not much around here that's more valuable. I'd say that's a fair deal. We'll look at the rest of the group. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good.
A worldwide criminal syndicate owing you a favor? Yeah, that's a pretty big fucking deal.
Yeah.
But is the favor more like a genie wish where there are consequences?
What in this campaign? Consequences? No
Oh,
way.
wouldn't
Impossible.
know her.
Yeah, I'll kind of turn back to the guy and like nod in a knowing way. Say, think you have yourself a deal, friend?
All right. He pulls out his obvious forgery kit and forges you some passes.
I love it.
You don't have passes into the city. It will get you essentially everywhere except the let me pull this up. It will basically get you everywhere into except the more exclusive, very, very rich area. Essentially the noble quarter. It'll get you everywhere except there.
But I mean, the butler did it. We got to get there eventually.
Yeah. So if we're able to kind of just easily enough get in.
You're already technically inside the city walls. He just directs you out.
Yeah. All right.
The guard will see your passes and wave you on in.
So
So I'll
some kind
kind
of
of
serial
go ahead.
killer. Some kind of
Seems
serial
so.
killer. Good thinking, getting us through the.
Is it just me, or when we walked in there, did it seem like he recognized us?
In some way.
I've definitely never been here before. Definitely haven't seen him.
I've never seen him before.
Think we should be careful.
Seems to be the theme of everything.
True.
So what'll it be? hunt down a killer, check out an airship, go to a library.
I mean, do we know where to start for the killer?
Something tells me he'll find us.
Yeah.
There are places we could go to make that more likely.
We need to be careful, though. Obviously, closing an entire city means this guy is probably a bit more dangerous than some random person with a knife.
Yeah.
Well, if we want to catch whoever was on that ship, should probably go sooner than later. Maybe
Yeah,
we can
that's
ask around for this
think you're
killer
right.
on the way.
Yeah. Speaking of, has the city been shut down as in no one's coming in, or has it been like evacuated?
No one's allowed in, and there's
Okay.
an
But the people who are
there's
in
an
are still
enforced
in.
curfew.
Got it. All right. So, airship landing?
Yeah, let's go.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I assume I'd be able to lead them around easily enough.
You guys will hear from someone's backpack. It doesn't really matter who, but you will hear a very light voice say, "And I will secure housing." And a rat on fire pulls its head out of the backpack.
I don't even
I think
actually
like
think you have to do that. Hold on.
I think like the initial reaction is Braden like raise his fist, like ready to punch something, and then kind of like the same reaction, you know, it like drop kicked when you were like the digging rat on fire from the dragon. Same kind of energy. I think he's gonna kind of like and then realize and see the flame, and he's gonna kind of like tilt his head to the side. Yeah,
If Theo will allow
Johnson
me,
will
I could
stop.
use my background feature
Yep.
to
What does your
get
background
specific.
feature do?
It's the smuggler background feature. So you're acquainted with a network of smugglers who are willing to help you out of tight situations while in a particular place.
Yep.
You and your companions can stay for free in safe houses. So
That's fine. So a big thing you'll notice about that city is a huge theme of it is most of the buildings are constructed almost from shipwrecks.
I fucking love that.
That's cool.
so this is your home. You probably learned how to sail here. That makes sense.
You could call it that.
You guys approach like
Yeah.
the so the way the city is there is like a massive rock, kind of like a massive almost like the opposite of a crater, like a cliff. And so the entrance of the city is like that, and then one of the main ways to get in are through lifts that come down. And so you guys are kind of like near a overlooking the city where there's a bunch of like rope like almost like fences to keep people from falling over. But you see in the distance along the waves the ever present like series of ships that seem to be floating in glowing green. They appear twice a year. And you'll notice that every single ship is docked and tightly secured because legend has it any ship that sails during this event never returns.
Okay, so wait, what's the event? Hold on.
It's essentially it's known as the ships of the dead. So you'll see like ships floating in and out of mist, glowing slightly green. And the legend has it, it's all the lost crews that have ever tried to cross the sea.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's cool as shit, by the way. Thank you.
So you guys, do you take the lift down and do you take the cut stairs?
I think as we approach, I think Brayden's just going to turn to Zero and kind of says, "Well, this is your area of expertise, Captain." And speaking
about
of, when was the last time you were here?
Well, 30 years and some change, I suppose.
Well, hopefully it hasn't changed too much.
We'll find out.
You're really my only hope in navigating this place, so hopefully we can all find our way.
Yeah.
So what Zero will do and is when you'll know that like when you get on the lift, there's a particular lift you can take, and if you put a coin in a particular slot of the cogs, and it like has a little kind of like circular place where it fits in really tight, is when you pull the lever, it stops midway, and then there's an illusory door that allows you to go into this rock.
Nice.
Hold the lever.
What is behind it? Is
A
this a
safe
place we're
house.
intentionally going? Then yeah, okay. I would start out by showing them that then. Listen, if you guys want something better, though I don't know. I don't know how much better you're gonna find here.
It's a safe
Um,
house. However, something strange when you go through it. The illusion is still there, and it's still like it looks like it's been out of commission for a very long time.
All right. Does it look like there was like some sort of struggle? Was it raided or something, or is it just empty and
It looks like people all of a sudden left,
Hmm.
and a while ago at that. There's dust and everywhere. There's only a couple of crates left, and some of them have been broken open, some of them not.
Yeah, I'll kind of step in and walk around really slowly and kind of look at the floor and the layer of dust and just how much dust I can kind of move around, with my feet with each step. I might see
What's
if
your
I can't
passive perception?
open 9.
Do you relay that this place looks really like beat up and run down?
I don't think I would have to.
Well, I mean,
It's
like,
pretty
because,
obvious.
but
Yeah,
like, I've
you would
never.
come in and you would see it immediately.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Well, I guess for
this
Noah,
is
it's like he's
empty,
never been
empty.
to a safe house before, so he doesn't know if this is what they always look like.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
I can't say it was ever
You got
nice.
bloody Norrington to thank for that. No, I'm kidding.
In that case,
What?
while
it
we're
was
walking
a
through
Pirates of the
here,
Caribbean reference.
Goddamn Norrington.
Amazing.
while we're walking through here, then I would like to be just looking for anything left behind or something that shouldn't be here, like a new trap or something like that. Looking for dangerous things.
You see a slight shadow that shouldn't be there.
Okay.
Someone has strung up a trap along the floor.
Okay. I will point that out to avoid it. Is it easy to avoid?
You could step over it.
Okay. I will point it out. Tell us to avoid it for now, and then
What did you roll for your perception, by the way?
I didn't roll. You
Oh,
just told me.
apologies. Go ahead.
No,
And
you're
roll.
good. You're good. Yeah. Dirty 20.
There's a second wire.
A second wire. Okay.
Exactly where you would step to avoid the first.
Okay. Then I'll point that out as well. If we know the location of both, would it still be easy to get around it, though?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. You should watch out right there. Whoever was in here last definitely didn't leave us with a present. At least not a good one. I can try to disarm it, but can I tell what kind of trap it is?
It appears to be a spark trap. Somewhere, there's something that activates upon a spark. Would everyone like to roll me a survival check?
Survival. Okay.
Okay.
19.
3.
Nice.
11.
Really surviving.
13.
What'd you get, Ol?
For what?
Survival.
21.
All right. This is more than dust on the ground. This is suspended flour.
Okay.
On top of that, you smell something in the air. An odor of oil.
Actually,
This is a
So-
bad time to be a fire rat.
I was about to say it, yeah.
oh no! Wait, would that have happened when
You
we
just
first walked
hear,
into the room?
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Didn't you leave? Didn't you leave?
I was told, no, I got this. So Donson
right.
stayed.
Are you still in the
In the
backpack?
backpack. I am still in the backpack.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Huh.
Get out. Donson just smells the oil and that's it. And he's like, just hears, why do I smell oil? Where is everyone? Where have you taken us?
Everyone's
if it
hairs
hasn't-
immediately stand on the back of their neck.
It hasn't blown up yet. I'm getting the fuck out there.
Zerua moves, and the pressure plate she's on lifts.
Oh, motherfucker.
I didn't see the pressure plate.
No, she was in first, and I asked her passive
Yeah.
perception.
Fuck.
Fair enough.
You see in the distance, this light start to crescend down towards it, and below it is a chest. And beneath, as the light starts to go down, it's heading towards what it believes to be a torch.
Can I put out the torch? Like before it, would I be able to react fast enough to prestidigitate?
If
turn off the-
the fire, like what this is, it is like a it's like a teeny tiny spark trying to light a torch.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
So-
Sorry.
So
Misunderstood
basically, if that torch ignites, it goes boom.
How far away is this torch?
25 feet.
25 feet. Can I?
I could literally control fire, but if I get out of the backpack, we're dead.
Can I? Quickly control or shape water out of my water skin to douse the torch in water?
Is that
that's
within
the-
the range?
It's a range of 30 feet, so that's 25 feet away.
Yeah, you waterbend it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully that's enough. I don't know if it has oil on it. It might not be enough, but
It douses.
okay. Okay. Maybe we should not be in here until we figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, this is
By the way,
Let's-
you saw in the light over through the flicker, there is a large metal chest engraved that was sitting in the back.
Okay.
You know, I was just thinking that like if you had like a druid that could actually function, he could like fly over all the traps and stuff like that, but you know, flame.
Hmm.
What do you guys do?
Have to do something.
I think step
think-
one is get out.
Can we
And
also
then
confirm whose pack our little flaming rat is in as well?
I don't know, pick one.
roll a d4.
Alright, I will. Only D6
Go
levels one.
top down.
That is, he's in Noah's.
Right. I will step out of the threshold at least and into the open air quickly. But how much? So the lift stops midway, and then there's like a translucent wall. Is there like a cliff overhang outside of that translucent wall that we can stand on, or
Nope.
like what are we looking at foothold wise? Just
You
the
would just be
lift.
on the lift, I would assume.
Okay. And is
You would
the lift
also have to
self-stopper?
figure out a way to reactivate the mechanism, because the thing is one of the ways that you can do that is inside. And
Okay.
Zero would know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because essentially as part of the mechanism for that particular one is actually an inside and then the back. And
Okay.
if it blew up, even if you survived, the mechanism would break apart and the lift would fall completely.
We got Featherfall. We've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go wrong last time.
Nope.
Yeah, that was a completely fine encounter with no
Literally can't go tits up.
whatsoever.
No repercussions.
Yeah, so I guess we'll kind of gather back on the lift outside.
Yeah, at least to discuss what to do. Did we see the switch that would restart the lift? Did we see it while we were in there, and how far away was it if we did?
You are halfway up a cliff, easily 1 mile above the city.
Yeah, but how
sorry.
far away is the switch from the entrance?
Oh,
Yeah.
To reactivate.
It's in the very back, and it's around like a
Okay.
side. It's part of the problem.
Okay. How far is that though?
40 feet.
40 feet? Okay. And how far in were the trap? Like, how far in can I get with the traps I've detected and can safely get around?
4 feet maybe.
Oh, it's like 4 or 5 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I might be able to flip the switch from a ways away, but I think it's a little out of my reach. I'd have to go at least a few steps in. Not sure what else is in there waiting though.
I mean, you could always
What
try to
else?
disarm the traps.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad could it be if you roll the 1, right?
Yeah. I think with the threat level of these traps and Noah's, at least the roleplay aspect of Noah's actual ability to disarm traps, I don't think he feels confident in that if he has another option.
Well, no, I mean, do you know those ones by the entrance? They're not going to set off the fire, right? Are they?
Yeah, but that's still not quite far enough in to reach, I don't think.
No, but if we set those off with whatever your thing is that can do the switch, then you can get closer.
But if there's another way for that to blow up, doesn't that kind of put us shit out of luck?
We might be shit out of luck either way.
I have to. I've had food ready for a bit now. I have to go eat it before I get yelled at. So yeah, I'll be right back. I should be back before the end of the session. Or at least like 20 minutes. So normally I'd
I
speed
have
run
the
it.
solution.
I cannot bring it here.
All good, all good.
So yeah, I will be back, and I mean I normally speed run it in like 15 minutes. But they have to cook it again when I go upstairs, and they're kind of mad at me. So I will be back in
All good.
a bit. So
See you
I
soon.
will. I'll
I'll let you know if you die.
come back then. Yep. All right. Be back.
Right.
So, is it safe for Donson to come out at all?
We are on the lift, so yes.
Yep.
So, my plan is to cast Gust of Wind. A line of strong wind, 60 feet long and 10 feet wide, blasts from you in a direction you choose for the spell's duration. And basically, the plan is to just. It actually says it right here. The gust disperses gas or vapor, and it extinguishes candles and similar unprotected flames in the area. So my
You would have to make
idea
it
is
come.
that
You
the
would have.
gust of wind is going to like move all of the flour that has settled on the ground away from the center and out to the sides, along with any of that oil. So that way, when away from like the fire, so that way when it does spark, it doesn't have anything to catch it.
You would have to do that in a direction towards you because what it is it's basically a hole in the mountain. So that gas needs to go somewhere.
How wide is this hole?
Right. It would be like a wind tunnel effect.
Yeah, my question is how powerful is that wind tunnel effect? Would it cause could it cause people to move?
Yes, actually. Each creature that starts its turn in a line must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line.
Ah. Do you
It
guys
is a
see
very
the problem?
strong gust of wind for level 2.
So I will say, as a DM, that will in fact remove all of the gas and all of that, but you guys would have to succeed on strength saving throws or otherwise make preparations.
Well, I'm pointing it toward the flame, so the wind is going to go into the room and then back out the door. It's got to go out somewhere. So it's going to be like a wind tunnel.
Yeah, but how would that get rid of the gas inside the hole? If it's going
to
How big is this hole, and how big is the width of your gust of wind?
it's as big as a door.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would have to get in a little ways.
Yeah, there's no. What I'm
and-
saying is the only way for air to come in or out is through that door.
Yeah.
So if
we
it's
block
coming
the
in
door
one
frame-
direction, I find it hard to
Yeah.
believe that it would. I mean, I'm not a physics expert, but I find it hard to believe that.
The way aerodynamic would work is that it's going to go in through the door. You are adding more air pressure into the room, so it has to leave some way.
But if you're blocking the door with the air pressure that's being blown in, then it's like inflating a balloon.
Yeah.
So it's going to
So it
come
wouldn't-
out somewhere.
But
Because this is gonna keep going for 15 for a whole minute. This is going to be going.
I think we'd have
Putting
to
in a whole lot of air. So it's either going to come out through the door, or it's just going to move everything that is in that line to the edges of the room. So that way when that candle sparks, there's nothing to catch fire.
The trap that
It's
we
still
triggered.
in the room, just not around it.
Mm-hmm.
The trap that we triggered, does it seem like it reset itself after triggering, or does it feel like it's done?
It's done.
It's done. Okay. So, can we see any other? I guess unless you want me to roll again, do I see any other traps other than the ones in the immediate entrance?
With the roll that you had, no, you don't.
I don't.
So as
Okay.
far as you're aware, there are no other traps.
Okay.
And as far as you're aware, the current trapping mechanisms are simply lighting a candle in one way or the other. I will say, and I do apologize if this is incorrect physics. Again, I'm not an expert in physics. I'll say what will happen is since it's coming from one direction, all of the flour and everything else, all of the accelerants would be pushed to the sides of the room.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair enough. That's what I was going for anyway. I just wanted it away from.
Yeah, it's saying that there
Where we're
is
at.
also there could be accelerants in other places and things like that. To keep in mind, it's not necessarily just airborne gas. It could be, for all you know, there could be a barrel of it somewhere.
At least we would have a way in.
Fair enough. Do you guys want to do it?
Unless someone wants me to cast Detect Trap. Or no, it's not Detect, it's Find Trap.
Oh, I mean that
I
would.
only have so many level 2 slots.
I mean, if it's that or Gust of Wind, I think Detect Trap would definitely be. That way, we at least know.
I
if there
didn't even
is
remember. I
something-
didn't even know there was the 5e version of Detect Trap or Find Traps.
Yep, Find Traps. Yep,
I
Find
knew that was
Trap.
a 3.5 thing.
Yeah, you can sense the presence of any trap within range that is within a line of sight. A trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict a sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable, which was specifically intended as such by its creator.
Got you. The spell merely reveals that a trap is present. You don't learn the location of each trap, but you do learn the general nature of the danger posed by a trap you
Oh.
sense.
Okay.
So if there are like
So I'm
five
gonna
different
save
traps,
you
I
from
will
casting
know.
the spell to find that out. So
Yeah.
because there are already, what you could do is if you somehow disable the 2 traps that you know are there, and you could cast that spell to confirm there are no other traps.
The purpose of the spell is to figure out how many traps there are, more than this, because it doesn't give me the location, just that there is one and what kind of danger I would get.
Okay, fair enough. I'll allow it.
All right. Do we want traps or do we want Ghost of Wind?
The issue with Gust of Wind is I'm not strong, so if I go in there to do anything, I will probably be stuck until you cancel it.
All right. Find traps. How many traps do we got? Spellcast.
A total of 5 traps.
And we've spotted 2, right?
3.
Or
There are
3?
also 2
3.
pressure plates inside.
2 pressure plates inside.
Yep.
And
And
then
then what is the general danger posed by the traps?
It triggers a secondary explosion.
So booms. That's what the rest of the traps. Good. Bonson can't go in there.
I'll even be generous and tell you there are 2 pressure plates.
okay, 2 pressure plates and then the 1 string, or did the 2 strings count
You
as
have
2
2
separate
strings,
traps?
1 pressure plate in front of the string, and 2 other pressure plates on an unknown location.
Okay, so there's 2 pressure plates hidden. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Well, should I try and go in and flip the switch, I guess? Don't really I couldn't see.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
When the switch is flipped, does it just start the elevator coming down? Or does it just allow it to start when you're ready?
It allows you what? Well, I guess are you familiar with this particular safe house? You think, or you just know it exists, or have you used it?
I would assume that if I know it's there and have been in it before, that means I've used it.
Okay, fair enough. There's a mechanism behind there, in which case you pull it, and then after a certain amount of time, it goes back up.
Okay. It goes back up?
Yep.
Okay.
Or it goes back down, depending on which way you flip the lever. So.
Okay, so there's a choice. Yeah. All right. So if you get in there though, you'd have to get back fast.
Yeah.
You've
And
got 60 seconds once you flip it.
Okay. A little fast.
and I don't really know where those other 2 traps are.
No.
At least I couldn't see them.
It's a big gamble. I mean, if this place was abandoned, it might have been abandoned for a reason.
Yeah.
Could just be best to leave it. But then we have the issue of getting out anyway. So
You said the switch to start moving it, we could see from the entrance, but it's like kind of wrapped around something, or can we not see it?
You cannot see it.
Cannot see it. So I'd have to get. Okay. How do I? Would I know how far in I would have to get to be able to see it?
No, because you don't know where it is.
But does Zared know where it is?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you have to-
inside. There's like a curved L shape basically, right?
Mhm.
And it's on the inside of the L,
Okay.
like facing away from you. So you can't see it until you're back there.
Okay, but okay. Right. Well, unless we want to jump and rely on our last strategy, I guess I'm going in. And I'll step off and through the threshold, avoiding the untriggered traps, getting as far as I can where I know the traps are at, and then stopping. And if possible, doing another perception. If not, a-okay.
Not until you got further.
Okay, not until I get further. Okay. And the 5 feet in at this point?
Yep.
Okay. I would like to ready a shape water just for if I do trigger something that will create a spark. If I can see where it's at, to douse whatever's going to, or to douse the spark
The
itself.
effect would almost certainly be instantaneous.
Okay.
So
Um.
I would definitely allow that if he used the gust first, though. Or the
Okay.
wind tunnel. I believe it's gust spell, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, the issue with that is then I can't control my movements, and then I risk triggering a trap anyways. So actually, Noah hesitates for a second and then steps back out onto the cart. I can't see any more traps from where I'm at. I think it might be best, even if it risks blowing things up, to just gently trace a path by pressing along the floor and see if just how far I can get without triggering something, and then maybe I can follow that up moving there.
Sounds very dangerous.
I mean, it's either that or I do it with my body.
Oh,
I
that's what I
have
thought you were implying. Got it.
no, I have a way to do that from a distance,
I
but
mean, I suppose.
I'd have to be careful because I won't be able to re-examine things until I go back in there. So I'm possible I go too far and trigger something. Will you be ready to catch us if things do go haywire?
I can catch us. What I can't do is stop a fireball coming out that door.
Well, unless we have better options. Doesn't really seem like it. Right. If I don't have a if I don't have anyone disagreeing with what I'm about to do, then I will cast my mage hand, my invisible little mage hand, and I will just go 5 more feet from the safe spot I was at, just 5 more feet into the room. Just feeling along the ground, trying to see if there's
Right
anything.
past your safe spot is those tripwires, so you'd have to handle those tripwires.
Oh, I thought you said okay. I thought I was on the other side of the tripwires.
Yeah, they're between you and the back of the room. Like,
Okay. How far? Okay, so how far into the room are the tripwires?
after 5 feet.
Okay.
You stopped
Then I'm
right in front
going.
of them.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going on the other side of so 5 feet past where the traps are at with my mage hand and just feeling around that area.
What I'm saying is, you go 5 feet in, then there's the tripwires right in front of you.
Yes, I'm using my mage hand, which can
Okay.
float over the
To go
tripwires.
5 feet
Yeah.
past that.
You go 5 feet past and then feel along the floor past them to see if I'm setting off a pressure plate. Just in that little 5 feet square.
Are you sure?
Do I? I mean, it's either that or I step over there and figure it out the hard way. Harder way. Because I can't see the traps.
I tell you what, Donson, roll me an Arcana check. We'll see how exactly
the
how
wrong
much information
person.
you got about the other pressure plates.
18.
The secondary explosions mean that it's an explosion independent of the suspended materials currently on the ground and in the air. It causes an explosion otherwise.
Neat.
I mean, an explosion's an explosion.
So keep that in mind. I assume he shares that.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of a
Unless I
dick
say
move not to.
otherwise, everyone knows.
yeah, I mean, again, an explosion's an explosion. It's either I step on it with my foot or I press on it with an invisible mage hand from 15 feet away,
Okay.
20 feet away. So I'm gonna hedge my bets with the mage hand that won't Doesn't matter if it dies. Just in that 5-foot square, I'm pressing down. I
Nothing
can't see the
happens.
traps, so okay. Okay.
That was very stressful for a nothing happened.
God, I know. Are you sure about that? I don't know. Okay, well, that spot at least seems safe. I'm gonna see if walking a little bit if I can see anything better. And I'm going to go in there myself. Hop over the tripwires I see.
You hear a
And
click. The pressure plate requires enough weight.
okay. More than 5 pounds, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm still readying that shape water, so
You hear a click, but nothing else.
okay. I mean, hearing a click, no matter what, I probably would have jumped back over the tripwires and gone for the entrance, even if nothing happened, and then look back around.
Please, for the love of God, roll me an Arcana. Or not an Arcana.
Okay.
Fuck.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of
Acrobatics?
the most. It's like recover. It's like knowledge, but it's I'm trying to think of what the. I know what it would be in Pathfinder. I know what fucking roll it'd be, ironically, in
Investigation, maybe?
investigation.
Perception? Investigation?
It would like I want to say history, because I want you to. I
History?
want to recall. I want you to recall knowledge about makes and maps of these kind of traps. Trying to think of.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think history kind of makes sense there, I think.
yeah. All right, roll it.
I'm good with history. Dirty 20.
Thank God. This type of trap, if it didn't go off immediately, goes off the moment you step away.
Oh, you release. Okay. Okay. In that case, I do not immediately jump back.
I don't know.
And kind of frozen in place, definitely kind of struck with some supreme dread.
Yeah, this is not a position you want to be in.
Yeah. Staying on the pressure plate. Can I see exactly the outline of the pressure plate I'm stepping on and where it's compressed?
Yes, it is a tile.
Okay.
Your left foot is
Okay.
on it.
Okay. Then staying where I am, I still am
It
further.
wobbles slightly.
I still am further into the room. Can I just take a deep breath and with my further vantage, just look around without moving for where that last pressure plate could be?
I'll allow it. Roll it.
Not great. 9.
It is. Sorry, you don't see it.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think so. Hey, does anybody have something heavy they can give me? I have definitely gotten myself into some shit.
You would
And-
everyone would have heard the click.
Yeah. If I move, I'm probably dead. So I need something to weigh this down in place of me.
I think Braden's probably just gonna maybe just like drop his pack and probably just start taking off like the chain armor he has on. I imagine it's probably like something of heavy enough weight. Probably like the heaviest thing he probably has.
I'll allow you to roll an investigation to see if that would work.
I'll probably let someone else
Yeah,
kind of do it.
yeah.
Like I think if Noah asks for something heavy, I think Braden's just gonna trust him and probably go for like the heaviest thing he has, which is gonna be the chain armor.
You wanted me to roll investigation?
Yep.
Okay, 13 for investigation.
This type of pressure plate requires the weight of a medium creature.
So like 100 pounds, 150 pounds?
Yep.
So like my bird is what you're saying. I'm calculating.
No!
No!
We found a use
Hey buddy,
already,
welcome back.
baby.
Hey, right there.
Who wants
I'll
some fried
teach you to
chicken?
stay.
I'm ready for some fried
Oh my
chicken.
god! You fucking monster!
Okay,
That's
and how
one
much does
toasted rock?
how much does the mail even weigh? I would assume not
A
enough
lot.
for that, right? A lot?
I mean, that would definitely work.
I mean, like surely, like chain mail would probably be like as heavy as like a straw, like a gnome or something, like
Just-
halfling maybe, right? Like
Yeah.
this might be a bit of a stretch, but like there might be like a medium.
There's actually a
creature,
weight
like,
for it in the PHB. Let me look.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
It's
could
like
maybe see that
55
working.
pounds, so you would need like 3 of those.
Yeah. That is going to be hard to find here, isn't it? Are there any items nearby or in the room that look relatively heavy that I can...
There's a crate in the
from here?
corner.
Yeah, that's probably real fucking far away though, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
There's the big metal chest in the back, which is also far
Yeah,
away.
true.
That would probably solve the weight problem at
But
least.
if we have solved the rest of the traps, that was the remaining 2.
That's one. There's still one that we don't know about.
What are the odds they're in the direction of a barrel?
Well, but how am I going to get to the barrel?
Somebody else goes in.
That's...
That's
just
pretty
throw all the
cool.
sacrificial
On that straw.
pawns. Give me the bird. Give me the bird. Jesus Christ.
I think Braden.
Hey, guys,
will kind of
guys, by the way, safe house, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
super
my
safe.
god.
Know who I'm blaming?
Jesus Christ.
I think this is the most precarious position you've ever been in this fucking campaign.
I think Braden is just gonna when the chain armor is kind of off, like hearing you guys kind of talk about it, like it's probably very clear to everyone. Braden's just gonna start probably approaching towards it and going for one of the barrels, unless someone would move to stop him. And like it's like a fairly deliberate thing. Like he's obviously finishing taking the armor off. He's gonna take his shield and kind of like angle it a little bit, and he's gonna start doing that unless no one else stops him.
Yeah, wait. I know I've seen some of you do it. I think I've seen Leon do it. He's not here, unfortunately. Who here, besides me, can Misty Step?
Just you two.
Shit. He's not here!
Didn't
Fuck!
prepare it.
Okay. So out of character, my thought is we put somebody with Misty Step to stand on the plate. Everybody else gets out, feather fall down, and then whoever's got Misty Step then would Misty Step out into the open
How many people
and
can
start
feather fall?
falling as the let me check. I want to say
Thought it
I
was
mean,
3, right?
it's a first level spell. It's five falling creatures within range. So I could
Oh.
get everybody down.
Okay.
We could land, and then the person who's on the plate, assuming it's Leonia, could Misty Step out, start falling, and then I could catch.
That sounds like something he would have to choose to do, because I will
It would.
say, as a
That's why
DM, there are significant risks to that plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask him to do that because I would volunteer to do it myself, but then I wouldn't be there to featherfall Noah.
So
I think Braden's. Yeah, I mean,
I could go
It's a-
in, jump up, and shapeshift into a spider, and then the explosion will rocket me out.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I think Braden's just gonna kind of call out to Noah. So as long as you don't leave that plate, it's not gonna detonate, is what you're saying, right?
As long as I stay here, but I don't have anything in reach to weigh it
Right.
down.
Noah,
Okay, I
this is
mean-
not helping Noah's anxiety.
Your
I think Braden's
sacrifice
just-
was honorable.
Just gonna
It
kind of
was so
say.
difficult for Noah to volunteer himself to get in there.
I think Braden's gonna
Oh
kind of
my
say,
God.
like we're in a city, right? Like surely there's toolsmiths here. There's people that know how these things work. There's things that we can get. Like surely we can find someone in a city to come and disarm this or
No,
something,
we'll
right?
be back in a couple hours.
Yeah, just hang tight, man.
Just hang in there,
Hard
man.
flash to us sitting around a bar. Did we miss something? Did we forget to do
We forget
something?
about someone.
check
Come
the
on.
to-do list. No, look, I think Braden is just going to kind of say,
I'm
I think he's
sorry,
just
Miss
gonna
Lodge,
kinda-
go ahead.
yeah, I think saying that and kind of realizing, I probably don't have a lot of time. I think Brayden is just going to kind of say, look, we have to do something now. He can't stay out there. This isn't going to end well. And I think Brayden's just going to start to walk in and I guess go for the barrel. And I think he's just going to kind of count on dumb blind luck because it's worked pretty well for him so far.
I assume everyone has been informed of the strings, right? The tripwires.
Yes. I mentioned that right when we got in.
Okay. So just so you know, the way this room is kind of set up is it's kind of like let me draw on like a paint real quick. If that would help everyone.
I think a layout would help a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
This is gonna be very fucking jank, so please no judge Reno.
Oh, good.
Sure, you're good.
Just while you're drawing as well, I probably have to wrap up like pretty smack bang on time today. Just as heads up.
Okay. That's bait. Yes, ma'am.
This whole thing was bait.
All I can think of is like the conversation of like, we're not going to talk to farmers, we're not going to get sidetracked, we're just going to go there, came what we came to do. Us immediately, oh look, it's an airship. It's like,
Well, the airship is what we came to do. To be fair, part of it.
I mean-
part of it.
All right. So here is a very rough picture of this room. So
I would assume I'm somewhere like.
yeah, you're right before the you're right inside the entrance. There are
Okay.
where that black line is over the entrance. Let me actually
Yeah.
draw it. So there's like so there is so here's another picture. Now that pressure plate is flush, and it's about 5 feet wide. Is flush with the length of the entrance.
Okay.
So it's not like a one just tile. It's like an actual
It's a
long
wide.
tile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wide. And the
How
same
wide
thing with
is the
those
entrance?
wires being it basically is it's in between two like it's in between the two walls is where it's hooked up from one wall to the other into tiny holes.
Okay.
And there
Well,
are various crates of stuff on the left and right.
Okay. I mean, I am currently triggering the pressure plate, so if someone else steps on it, it can't double trigger, right? As long as I don't leave it,
Yeah, as far as you know.
as far as I know, and
Yeah.
based off what I recall of these kinds of traps or what I have heard.
Yeah, especially based on like what Zero would know about this location, because the thing is these traps are supposed to be here all the time, but the thing is they're mostly activated when you abandon a shelter. But you also wouldn't want to accidentally trigger a trap when moving cargo. So this isn't necessarily a house that you're supposed to like. It's not supposed to be a comfortable place to chill. It's supposed to be a place you store valuable goods.
Okay.
And then come back to get them at some point. So someone used the safe house to store something valuable here. And then activated their traps to protect it. And whatever happened, they never came back for it.
A question about the chest, which I'm assuming is on the far back wall.
Yeah, it's on the far back wall, correct.
Does it look from where we're at like it's been opened or tampered with?
Nope, it's completely closed.
Okay. Does it have like a lock on it?
It has a big old lock on it.
Okay. Well, my bet would be that last pressure plate is somewhere protecting that last chest, and maybe no one wanted to risk going for that. But that's a risky call.
I already know where the pressure plate is, by the way.
The
So you
last
guys
one?
know.
The last pressure plate?
Yep.
Wait, we do know where it is, or we
I
don't?
know where it is.
Oh, you know where it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Brayden, your plan was just roll with fate and try to get something heavy for me. I don't see a much better option here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's
for
kinda-
proof, I'm gonna send this to Leonyu because he's not here. So for proof I'm not mean. Well, I mean,
I trust you. I
it
trust
is
you.
pretty fucking mean, but like, yeah. All right.
I may be a rogue, but I am not an expert in thieves' tools.
In the
I'm proficient.
by the way, I'll send you a picture of where the crates are.
Okay. Yeah, thieves' tools was not my expertise choice, and it probably won't be. So,
Oh my god, you're not proficient with thieves tools?
I'm proficient, not expert.
Oh, okay, got you.
So I have proficiency, but I don't have expertise.
Those are where the crates are. The black boxes. There you go.
Okay. All right, lucky boy, do your thing.
Yeah, I think Brayden's just gonna go for one. To be honest, I think he's do not send that.
It's pro, not me.
Yeah. So look, I mean, what do you want me to do for this?
I mean, if you can find something heavy enough to account for the weight of a human body, I needed that to replace me on this pressure plate.
All right. Do you mean the Bray? I think Brayden's gonna grab the chainmail anyway, just like kind of sling it over his shoulder, kind of thing, just for some extra weight in case he needs it. And yeah, look, I think he's gonna kind of take his shield and try and keep it angled in a way that might be able to absorb some of the explosion. And then yeah, look, I think he's just gonna go for it towards the nearest crate. He'll kind of look towards the rest of the people in the party and just kind of give a nod and a two-fingered salute and go for it. Theo, I mean, is there something that you want me to do for this, or you just like blind luck? Like,
So
how do you
how are
wanna-
you? So what exactly are you doing?
Well, like I mean, obviously Brayden, has obviously been listening to what's been kind of going on, so he's obviously aware of the wires. So obviously he's not going to stand on the plate that Noah's on. I think his plan is just going to be moving towards the barrels first because they're probably going to have the most amount of weight, and even if they're empty.
Yeah.
they're still
So in
gonna be
order to get
heavy.
to the barrels, you're probably gonna have to step on that pressure plate he's on. Just so you know, and just so you know, like the crates are like stacked up, flush against the wall.
I mean, like, can I not just like overstep or just like jump over
You
the plate?
you could do a long jump if you want.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like didn't you say it's only like 5-10 feet to the tile?
Yeah, it's like 5 feet wide.
Yeah, okay. We'll definitely want to avoid the plate that. Yeah, so like I think that's probably going to be the plan. And then, I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine without seeing the barrels, but I imagine they're going to be able to be picked up or like moved, unless they're like snug into the wall or something, or like gated or locked or anything.
They're
but
not
doesn't-
gated or locked, but they're a bunch of crates stacked up. And there's like a barrel or two laying against the wall and stuff like that. However, I will say like in between like the crates being stacked like against the wall, there's nothing between you and the chest.
Yeah, look, I
Quote,
don't think
unquote.
the chest is probably. I think just going like for the
Just-
fastest possible
yeah.
thing that's
I'm just
closest
letting you
to
know
Noah.
it's like
so-
an open room otherwise. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So I guess Brayden's gonna go for the vault, and then yeah, go for the.
what
go
are
for the crates.
what are the vaulting rules? Do you need a roll for that? I don't remember.
I think it's like a fixed
It's based on
distance, I'm pretty
strength,
sure.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
just fixed based on strength, right?
It's something like that. Yeah, I don't think there's a roll unless it's like particularly difficult or something.
How far can you vault? That's what I'm looking for the rule.
I can see.
Or it's like long jump, right?
I can see like vertical jump, like up, but trying to find
There should be a
long
long
jump.
jump somewhere. Yeah.
Long
you
jump.
make a long
long
jump,
jump.
you
You
cover
cover
a
a number
number
of
of
feet up to your strength score from at least 10 feet on foot immediately for the jump. You have no space to do that, including the little bridge.
So there's no space to do
Yeah,
it.
you have enough. I'm saying you have just
Ah,
space to make that 10
okay.
foot.
Okay.
So you
okay.
so you could jump up to 20 feet.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
your strength score is.
Yeah.
And even if you were
which
standing, you
is
could go up to 10
18.
feet. So you'd be able to jump over it, no problem, because you're super strong.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Look, I think just Braden's going to kind of like take a bit of a small pace back. He's going to kind of grip his shield and do a few inhales, exhales, and just kind of go into a bit of a jog, and then go into the room.
Okay. Can
Cool.
you like tell me exactly where you are on this little map?
The crates are like the two. I'm just trying to like imagine the interior of the room is probably very important for this. So you mentioned there are a few
So
crates
I'm
propped up.
gonna actually draw like the extension because I did
Yeah.
it as like when I did that pressure plate, did it as like a representation, not like an actual accurate diagram.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
good.
so here you
I
go.
mean,
Here
I
is
can.
where that first pressure plate is. That's obviously depressed into the ground.
Okay. Yeah, look, I think Braden is going to move towards the right-hand side of the room, kind of like trying to kind of hug the wall a little bit, like not trying to stand out in the open, kind of like more so going towards the wall. If that kind of makes sense. You mentioned there were a few, like obviously crates stacked like floor to ceiling, but you also mentioned there were a few crates just propped up against the wall. What I'm trying to avoid is like, playing
What like
dominoes.
right here where the circle is?
Uh, um, yeah, look, I think that's probably the play. Like maybe like even like up a little bit, like if it was like a grid, like up one. I imagine like I probably need to get like, I mean, the way I picture it, I wouldn't be able to get to the crates from there. Like I have to kind of be front facing them
Okay.
rather than going at it from the side. You did mention there are a couple of crates just propped up against the wall, like ones that weren't stacked. Because
Correct.
obviously, like last thing I want to do is like pull some crates and they all come tumbling down. That'd be disastrous.
Okay.
So I'm trying to prioritize those ones first.
All right. So you step out into the open area, correct?
Yep.
You hear a click.
Okay.
The entire open area depresses. It is one giant pressure plate.
Okay. Brain looks towards Noraim.
And
Just kind of
here
gives
is
a
the
shrug.
picture I sent him, by the way.
Jesus Christ.
And I think
That's cruel, man.
So, question then: if this pressure plate that I'm standing on extends to both the things that are propped up against the wall here,
yes.
are those things also on this pressure plate?
Nope.
No. So those things are not touching this pressure plate. So I
Correct.
could try to shimmy them onto my pressure plate.
Possibly. However, it is 10:55. I think we'll end it right as it says click, and we'll let Braden say something real quick.
I would just say shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And there.
I did try to allude to it being like a wide open area. It is a pretty nasty trap, but I tried to do it in like as fair a way as possible.
I think we have potentially some methods around it, especially if
I planned it with methods of like, because actually one of the ways I thought about you guys dealing with it is actually what Zero said, is with Misty Step. So
yeah, unfortunately,
the only problem is you didn't know where
That shit
where that
failed.
last one was, right? So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But if those things aren't on my pressure plate, then what are they? Is it like stacked barrels and stuff?
it's stacked. Yep, stacked crates and then a couple barrels against the wall.
I mean, at this point, we're already pressing down the plates. Might as well just topple them all over and hope they equal our weight and take over for us.
All right.
But we'll get there next week.
Yeah. I swear to God, if Leandro doesn't listen to this one. All right. Okay. So what are we gonna call this session?
Time bomb.
I'm thinking safe house with the word safe in quotes.
Yeah, that's
Under pressure.
I was gonna say under pressure too. Yeah,
Okay, under pressure. All right, I think that's good.
under pressure.
awful.
All right. All right, let's go down the list. What's your favorite part, Braden?
On me.
I like just the general kind of like the character chats and stuff at the beginning of the session, and the little hovel at home that we all had. That was probably just like my highlight, the general kind of interaction with that kind of stuff. I like that we're able to get to a new city and actually kind of see a little bit more about the world as well. It's exciting. But yeah, those would be my points.
Okay. Dodson.
Skip me.
Okay. Leon. Oh no.
I
Noah.
think I agree with Braden. Yeah, I very much like obviously character interactions and then exploring more of the world, getting there and seeing kind of what the other towns are like and starting to learn more about those things. Obviously, a D&D party getting stumped by a room full of traps always happens. So that's always what is it, what's it called? A canon event, right? So that's always fun.
We have the bingo checklist we're working through.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
All right.
Man with heavy armor drowns. Check.
Yeah, there we go.
Party has drinking problem. Check.
Character in the party that doesn't want to do the main mission.
Check. I'm like, damn, everyone's literally, as characters, demotivated to do it, but as players, really want to do it. So it's an interesting conflict.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
Sarah.
the journey to getting invested is part
Yeah.
of the fun, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You gotta put us. There's a reason why the hero's journey is a thing. You just
Yeah.
haven't gotten to that part of the circle for our characters want to do it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I would say 3 for 3, same. But specifically also talking to Belinda was fun.
Yeah, that was cute. That was a key moment.
I gotta say, like, I think my top favorite moment of this session, though that was really good too, was you using the hand to press down, me knowing you have to have a way
I know,
into
you
the
fucker.
creature, and then you step
You
out.
fucker.
Oh boy.
I had a feeling, like, in the back of my head, they're like, oh, it's possible that's the case, but hopefully he didn't think that far into it. Damn it.
You know, what's funny is literally there's a these types of traps are actually inside official modules.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah. Alright, I have to get skedaddling, but
No
thank you
problem.
all for the game. I'll catch
All
your
good.
homies later.
Good
Enjoy
plans, man.
enjoy your weekend ahead. What's left of it.
yeah,
You
dude,
too.
this is
Bye.
it was great, a great session.
Hell yeah. Alright, bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So it's really good, and we ended right on time. So, all right, cool. We skipped you, so
I don't know. Probably the rat coming out of the backpack.
yeah, that's
I-
true. I didn't realize you were inside the backpack. I thought you were running off to like, oh my god,
Well,
that's
there
right.
wa-
You're inside Noah's backpack.
Mm-hmm. Not well, no, okay. I 100% would have taken him out at this point.
Yeah, because
would've
remember I
taken
had
one.
to do find traps.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That's fair.
But like my
But-
entire thought process behind being a rat in a backpack was I got there first. There's no way the guards would let me in with them in the group
So
because I'm
actually-
very obviously not part of their group. So he's just gonna step away, become rat, and then get into the backpack and get in that way. My other
Become
plan
rat.
was to, if I couldn't get in, I would just become spider and go over the wall.
So I have a question regarding your fire and everything. If you're in my backpack, how are you not burning everything inside my backpack? Like, how does your fire
Have you
actually
looked in your
interact with
backpack?
objects? God damn it! I have not.
No, I imagine it's like Ghost Rider, where there's not really any heat.
Okay, so in that scenario, wouldn't it not trigger?
All flame, no flash.
Maybe.
Like, I mean, we probably don't want to test that here, but
I imagine for the purposes of like traps and there being firing around, it counts as fire, but like not
In
in
other
the
contexts,
burning
probably not.
things.
okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
All right, yeah, great session, guys. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it was
Okay.
really fun turning you guys into a little box with a bunch of traps in it.
Rule.
That chest is gonna have nothing but SpaghettiOs.
Oh no, someone set this up to protect something. So I already
Yeah,
know
I'm
what it is,
curious
too.
if after it was abandoned, someone else found it and started using it for a new safe house or something.
Listen, Theo is trying to get us off of the path, but like we know that things from our world are in here and very hard to get. So it is very likely that it is SpaghettiOs,
SpaghettiOs.
cans of SpaghettiOs,
True.
because there's no other way to get it.
And things from the real world are incredibly valuable.
Hmm.
This reminds me of a really fucked up story. I'm sorry. So a couple years ago, I was working at a newspaper, and it was like during the peak journalists are the enemy of the people political time. And there was one night that we had somebody call in a bomb threat, and down the street, they ended up having to like call a bomb squad because they found a box on the front step that had a PVC pipe with some wires in it, and it ended up being like, well, it was a really shit night. It was really scary. But it ended up being like a very mentally not all there guy's little like handmade Star Wars toy that he thought if he packed it up and put it at the TV station, which is where it was on the front step of the TV station, that it would be like safe there, because he didn't have a place to stay for the night. And it was super sad. And that's just
Oh,
what that
that's
reminded me
sad.
of with the fucking protecting the SpaghettiOs thing. Anyway.
Oh gosh.
All right, let me go ahead and end the recording. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.